The Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. Listen here, this is a fact of life. I be rapping like Nat Turner came back to life. Grab Donald Trump by the pussy, he ain't acting right. I never run from a conflict, I be glad to fight. It's a very cold world that we living in. Somebody please tell Elizabeth you're not an Indian. You just trying to con them people to get the benefit. Just another immigrant, stealing from the Indians. That's some punk ass shit and that's too lame. Now we finna step over to Andrew Yang. And you a sucker, you could never speak for black folks. Fake ass pandemic, trying to get the black vote. The Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. You know your boy be high off sativa. Kamala wasn't popping, so we said bye, Felicia. She ain't had a right policy. We ain't trying to meet her. Y'all can take Biden too. Bye. We don't need him. We don't need Roland Martin or that coon Al Sharpton. Didn't need Cory Booker from the start, man. I don't fuck with police and no snitch. You know I'm coming with the heat when I spit it. The Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. If you ever go to court and this is your luck, try not to get fucked by Benjamin Crump. I know it's hard. You and go is hard. But who the fuck is Amy Cloak? Put her picture up on the bullseye and start throwing darts. People cut our organs out our bodies, that's a stolen heart. They can't save us from the flood like Noah's Ark. Black lives always matter, we finna go for ours. So then we savages, we don't need to pot the piss. Mike Bloomberg can suck dick with that stop and frisk. Bitch, you ain't speaking for us, we don't know you. Bernie Sanders, they get your funky ass on too. The Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me.
I'm talking about Shawty going crazy. People going crazy in this motherfucker. Run that shit back, man.
But it's nothing. Nothing. Got a woman on the bed. Man made the car. Carry the heavy load. Man made the electrolyte to keep us out of the dark. Man made the bump for the water like the 7-millimeter. Man thinks about a little bit of baby girl and a baby boy. Man makes them happy because man makes them strong. But after man make everything we can, do you know that man makes money? To buy from other men. This is a man's world.
Greetings. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Frontline Black News. I'm your host, Che Nkrumah. Lady Che, our other host, will be joining us here shortly. She's in the shower, and Shabaka should be joining us as well, our West Coast correspondent. We did a show earlier on Blog Talk Radio and StreamYard. Make sure y'all check that out. A special edition of Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. And this is on this season 4, episode 9 of the Frontline Black News. We'll be discussing several things. First thing, of course, is the tangibles. It's the year and the decade of tangibles. Continue demands of a tangible for your vote, Black family, going all the way up to 2100. So it's 2024. We demanded something all the way up to 2100. Then we got the Democrats. As usual, they are running scared and super desperation mode. And Biden is fearing defeat in November. Tries to assemble a Black voter coalition. Desperate times definitely call for desperate measures. And Lord knows them Democrats are beyond desperate for the Black vote. But we're not going to give it to them, Black family, unless we get something tangible for our vote. Sleepy Jim Crow Biden begs for the Black vote in an empty Philadelphia gym. Then we got Black Democrats warn Biden he's running out of time to get Black voters to support his campaign. Oh, you think? It's like, 5 months away now? Yeah, he should definitely be. He's definitely running out of time. Then we got Whoopi and Sonny tried to pressure Charlemagne the Coon, or otherwise known as the God, to endorse Biden. Then we got the dump, as in human shit, and we want to make that perfectly clear. MAGA, my ass got arrested. Trump found guilty on all 34 counts, felony counts of fraud. He is a convicted criminal. Then we got the same white supremacists that hated Malcolm X now celebrate him with a Hall of Fame statue. Symbolism, nothing tangible. Then we got Cook County, otherwise known as Crook County in Chicago. Attorney says no prosecutions for drugs being found during routine traffic stops. Then American Airlines, I skipped the whole thing. Okay. American Airlines flying the Unfriendly Skies Airlines. And then we got a case study in institutional racism. This is all basically the same topic. Then we got a brother says that he would rather go to jail than apologize to the cop that disrespected him. So those are the topics. Yeah. Works. Yeah. It works. To the other one. The green one doesn't work? All right, so I'm going to get it started. I just got out the shower. Okay. So, where the hell did I hope I didn't fall asleep. That's been a long day. All right, so I'm going to start us off with the tangibles. It's the year and the decade of tangibles. Continue to demand something tangible for your vote, Black family, all the way up to 2100. It's not that. Oh, it's this one. All right. Where's first name out there? This is tab. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm on Lady Che's computer. That's really hard to navigate. I just seen it. There it is. Okay. So, as I always start us off with, this is the year in the decade of tangibles. Once again, continue to mass up the tangible for your vote. So back in 2019, our good brother Tariq Nasheed came up with the hashtag tangibles2020. And in it, he was detailing everything that we, meaning the foundation of Black Americans, the descendants of American chattel slavery freedmen, we're going to demand from the two-party system. So nothing has changed except the year. Everything else remains the same. So we got tangibles 2024. So I'm going to change it to 2024, but everything else remains the same. Tangibles 2024. The 2024 presidential elections are coming up, and foundational Black Americans are going to reject the 50-year-old malign neglect policy that has been implemented by the political system. This malign neglect policy mandates that Black Americans should be ignored and only mentioned in vague and non-specific terms, lumping foundational Black Americans in the groups with minorities, immigrants, people of color, BIPOC, etc., has only hindered the progress of Black Americans as a group by providing tangible benefits for other groups. In this election cycle, meaning the 2024 election cycle, Black Americans are going to insist that our needs are specifically met by politicians who are seeking our vote. Foundational Black Americans want tangible benefits specifically for us. We do not want trickle-down, secondary benefits that are provided for every group. Every group has not been systematically marginalized and disenfranchised in every area of society as foundational Black Americans. So we refuse to be lumped in with groups who often assist in the exploitation and disenfranchisement of Black Americans. So politicians must offer tangibles, specifically the foundational Black Americans. We simply will not vote for them. Be sure to spread this message far and wide on social media using the hashtag tangibles2020. This is 2024. It's tangibles 2024. And we're going to keep running with the hashtag all the way up to 2100. Black family, continue to mass up tangible for your vote. We've been running with this hashtag for the past 4 years. Tangibles 2020, tangibles 2021, tangibles 2022, tangibles 2023, and now tangibles 2024. So every election cycle from here on out, all the way up to 2100, continue to mass up tangible for your vote. You Democrats, y'all are not going to be able to fearmonger us to the polls to get our booties to the polls anymore. Them days are long over. If you want us to get our booties to the polls or any of that nonsense, you're going to have to do something tangible for us. You're going to have to provide some kind of tangible legislation, and that's reparations, $800 trillion now for past, present, and future atrocities that have been brought against our people. An anti-Black hate crime bill passed into law, and an end to qualified immunity across the board. These race soldiers cannot continue to kill our people and get away with it, and the taxpayers have to foot the bill. Those days are over. And shout out to my state, Colorado, for SB 290 for getting qualified immunity ended in the state of Colorado. But these bastards are still killing us. They're still killing us, Black family. And taxpayers are still having to pay to foot the bill. So that law is only as good as its enforcement. And we need somebody to actually enforce all of that legislation. Otherwise, it's a nothing burger. So continue to mass up tangible at both the local, state, and federal level. And if you haven't heard, I have put my hat in the ring for House District 8, Colorado State House District 8 representative, which is my district. I live in that district. I've lived in that district recently for the past 4 years. And previously, I lived there for a good almost 10 years when I was a kid. So I'm very familiar with the district, needs of the district, and we need to make sure that district remains Black. That is a historically Black district, and it needs to remain that. So And I am the only Black candidate that's on the ballot for said seat. So you have an option, you have a choice besides the white woman. So support me for Carl State House District 8. And demand something tangible for me. If I'm not providing nothing tangible, then don't vote for me. But I'm the only candidate that's really providing anything tangible. And I'm not bought and sold by the Democrats. So I'm not beholden to none of them. I have my own party here in the state of Colorado. I'm on a legitimate party known as Unity Party. And I am the junior chairman of the party. And I've been a member of that party for 5 years now. So we have ballot access here in the state of Colorado. And we were also able to get Dr. Cornel West on the ballot here in Colorado. So you're welcome, Colorado. You have a third option. So yeah, demand something tangible to something real, or some substance, or something you can feel, touch, measure, count with your own hand, touch with your own hand. Not symbolism, not what we've been getting for the past 60 years from the Democrats. Not symbolic gestures, but actual tangibles. So demand those. Otherwise, don't vote. So y'all need to start with this. You're telling people not to vote. No, we're saying if you're going to vote, demand something tangible for your vote. Otherwise, it's a waste of time. Now, of course, focus on your local and your state elections, because that is what affects you on your day-to-day. But as far as the presidency, that's decided by the Electoral College. Presidential candidate can have the popular vote all they want. If they don't have the electoral vote, then they're not going to win. So keep all that in mind, that these Democrats they're already bringing the fear-mongering full throttle, and that fear-mongering is not going to work. And stay far away from these mothers that keep telling you to vote blue no matter who, and all that madness. If they're not going to provide nothing tangible for you, don't even waste your time, Black family. Just don't waste your time. Never do it. I get the West Coast correspondent up in here. Here comes Lady Che. Greetings, Lady Che.
Hey.
Tell the people what you think about the tangibles.
Well, my thoughts are the same, really. I think that given the new changes, for you Trump supporters, you really have to look at that. What about it? Such treasure. Treasure. Treasure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was it really working earlier? Sorry about that. Tangibles. Basically, we still want the same shit. Nothing's really changed as far for us. I mean, I'm still a third party candidate. I've been on like I like to call Black vacation. Calm my nerves. So I really am catching up tonight, which is kind of intentional. I told Jesse I could catch up on the news when he does the news, because I'm overwhelmed with different types of things as far as what's going on in the world. I think that we should still be asking the same questions. I think that I have a whole bunch of thoughts and questions about this latest event with the 34 charges or felonies or whatever. So I have a whole bunch of questions about that, but that really hasn't changed my overall thought. I'm still on third party candidate till further notice, which could be later this week. It doesn't really matter. I believe in tangibles. I believe in something specifically for us, meaning Foundation of Black Americans. We need to be asking these same questions. We should just continue to act like we know what happened and just move accordingly. Until we know what happens next week or the week after, whether he's going to continue to be on the ballot or not, we should still ask the right Black questions specifically pertaining to us and keep in mind of our actual goal, which is reparations. You know, I don't really think that we need to make any further changes. We just need to be serious and actually mean what we say and do what we say versus just talking. And then when it comes to voting, where everybody's standing in line, you know, unless it's something specifically tangible for you, your family, it's going to behoove you and benefit you. You've done your research, you've looked into it, you've talked to candidates, even if the ones you like, you kind of helped if you push them along to your agenda, which is actually should be the Black agenda. You should know what that means if you follow the new Black media. We shouldn't have to get into it. Not everybody knows what that means. And it's sad, but we are speaking only to what we have learned through the new Black media. Everyone else can have their own ideas, but that's not exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about it specifically through the new Black media's version of the Black agenda, if I said that correctly. So yeah, hold your vote for something tangible.
He's on his way back.
Good to know. Thanks for letting everybody know. And yeah, that's about it. That's pretty much all I'm at right now with it. We're waiting to see what else happens. Jesse, carry on.
What do you always say?
Oh, what?
Hold your boat.
Hold your boat like you hold your fucking, like men hold their swallow, females hold their fucking babies. You know what I mean? It's real shit. I haven't said it in a long time because I haven't been on here that much lately. It's a lot of things been going on with me. Super, super fired up. And sometimes it's just not good. That energy is just too, whoa. I don't see why anybody's not as angry as I am.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty angry, so I think everybody should be on my level of anger. Did you call him?
Yeah, he's not picking up. He was just on mine, though.
All right, well, no, let's carry on.
Okay. All right, so continue to mass up the tangible for your vote, Black family. It's going to be a marathon, not a sprint. We've told you since the very beginning when we were on the Mile High News or Unity Community News, the mass up the tangible for your vote. It's going to be a marathon, not a sprint. CIP, the Nipsey Hussle, the marathon continues.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're going to continue that marathon all the way up to 2100. So we are prepared to sit it out several election cycles just so these two major parties and the independents get the point that we're very serious about our tangibles. And we are willing to tank a whole election as a result until we get our goddamn tangibles. So
we waited this long. The only difference is now that we are super focused, and those that are actually doing the work are applying a nice, steady amount of pressure. And that's the important part. You know, we talk about leaders, and we want to hear leaders like that are amped and motivated. Like I can name the perfect example. Black Alpha Network.
Yep. Shout out to Black Alpha Network.
You know what I mean? Shout out, just that energy, like that energy. Black Star 2.0.
Yeah.
Mad Black TV. Things like that. With that kind of energy, TBA. It gets you fired up, gets you motivated. My energy, things like that. I have energy like that that's fired up. And here in this state, it's almost like a one-man show. It's sad some days, you know what I mean? I feel like that. Ultimately, you know, when you look at leaders, you want to look at them, what's in their heart, what they really want, what they're really talking about, what they really mean. And you have to ask them these. It's nice that they say all the pretty shit, but I don't mean to say that. Even we have pretty black faces in high places, and they say some of the things that seem right, they're not always on code. There's a lot of code switching and change-ups, which leads emptiness for those who want a black first candidate or pro-black candidate or candidate that has black folk in mind specifically first.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's all
That's
about
priority.
inclusiveness versus exclusiveness. And I think that we're talking about, I know we're talking about B1 exclusiveness, B1 FBA exclusiveness, delineation, you know, reparations, lineage based, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I shouldn't have to go into it. We've been doing this for quite some time now, even on the RVA.
Yes.
That you should know, especially from this platform, what we are talking about, what we will stand on, and there's no backpedaling or passes given. Yeah.
Right.
So tangible.
Man, something tangible. So
Yeah.
always stressing. We're not telling you who to vote for. We're just gonna say if you're gonna vote, demand something tangible for your vote.
And if you're not happy with said candidate, get out there, put in some fucking work. Not every candidate is going to be perfect. There's going to be that candidate, i.e., let's look at, for example, Cornel West, right? We like Cornel West. We like Cornel West a lot, except when he does one or two things.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. After that, he done lost us in the sauce. Okay? Except for that, he's perfect. He's a perfect choice. He has what we want. He's willing to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Until we get a hold of him and actually can sit him down and really drill it into him exactly what we want, we're always going to have a level of unhappiness with him. Till we get out there and put in that work with him to better us, meaning Foundation Black Americans, and our situation here, our plight here, the shit that's going on here, the shit that we've been suffering for here, it's going to be with him. And thus will give way to motherfuckers like RFK Jr. who doesn't give a fuck about black people.
Yeah, fuck RFK Jr.
You see what I'm saying?
Shame
Jill
on
Stein
him.
don't give a fuck about black people. Doesn't matter what you think. She really doesn't give a fuck about black people.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else don't give a fuck about black people. You could clearly see it, feel it, and I'm a reading between the lines and energy person.
Chris Webber or whatever.
Any of them. It don't matter who it is. They don't give a fuck about the common black American.
Mm-mm.
So
oh, shit, I'm just knock the fan over.
Yeah. So that being said, unless you're willing to get behind somebody, and they're not talking about money, just put in time. You got a little extra time, put in some time and try to reach out. Try to go to a town hall. Try to, it doesn't. I'm not expecting anything. I don't have no motherfucking money, but I got all the motherfucking fire in the world. You see what I'm saying? And I have the desire to want to help said candidate along for the betterment of our people, meaning FBA. Everybody else can sit it down till we get what is fucking required. Simple as that. Pass it. Just pass it. I'll take care of it.
That's what.
What's the phone or something?
It's charging over there.
Why is it charging?
Because it's not fully charged.
Okay. Well, what happened?
He's not picking up the phone. Is it asleep or his phone is acting up?
Who's?
Shabaka.
Oh, let's not worry about it. He'll be on when he gets home. Plus he had a long shoulder again.
Yeah.
Mine is now.
Yeah.
What's the next topic?
The Democrats. It's all Democrats. The next topic is Biden. He's trying to galvanize the black masses to get behind him.
Because he sees a down woman, or
so he's fearing defeat in November, and he's trying to assemble a black voter coalition.
There we go. Recordings. The spirit of the pandering again.
Wait, I'm saying it from here. I'm so excited.
I'll go for this update.
That his back is against the wall, and he need you, Black America, to put him back in office. So as you can see on the article, I will launch a coalition to shore up support with black voters at Girard College on Wednesday. This is coming from the Philadelphia Inquirer. All right, so let's get into this and highlight some things that we think is very important here. Now, I say the warning signs surrounding Biden's support of Black voters has been flashing for months. I mean, it's been actually years, not just months. But they say Wednesday, Biden will stand shoulder to shoulder with some of the most influential Black Democrats in the country and debut a coalition that the campaign hopes to shore up support and the key Democrat constituency. Biden is slated to speak at the Girard College, a historic boarding school in Fairmont, alongside Kamala Harris and several local and national high-profile Black Democrats. Sources familiar with the planning stated to the media. Now, who is these influential Democrats? Because there's none that I could say, yeah, if this person says something, it's going to galvanize Black people to do something. There aren't any influential Democrats. What are you talking about? It'll be Biden's third trip to Philadelphia and his sixth trip to Pennsylvania this year, continuing to defocus on a swing state where polling shows he narrowly trails former President Donald Trump. Now, I said the campaign did not provide details of Biden's plans for Wednesday, but the president is expected to visit in the afternoon. Now, I say he has highlighted how his administration has lowered prescription drug prices, invested in historically Black colleges and universities, and was working to close the racial wealth gap and reduce disparity in employment for Black Americans. There's a problem with that. The majority of Black Americans, we're talking about definitely the young ones, they don't have a prescription drug issue. So only so many people go to HBCUs. Let's call it what it is. And what do you mean that you're working to close the racial wealth gap? What is your proof of that? Because a lot of Black people right now having a hard time buying food, putting gas in the car. A lot of Black people having trouble with rent. So what wealth gap are you closing, sir? Well, where? I mean, trust me, I would love to say he did that. Trust me, I would love it, but he did not. So stop going on a campaign trail, lying to Black Americans like what you've done, we literally see it. Now, say the campaign also tried to contrast Biden with Trump and say who has a history of making, comments, and say the campaign, launched a television ad last week that highlighted a decade-old clip of Trump calling for the death penalty in Central Park 5. It said a group of teenagers who were exonerated of the convictions related to the assault and violation of a white woman. It said a Biden campaign account, shared a video on X saying, let's remember Trump is a lifelong racist. Now, Trump did post an ad. Yes, he did. But why aren't we talking about the prosecutor, Linda Fairstein? She's the one that prosecuted the case. You got more smoke for Trump that posted an ad, which he had no political power at that time. But Linda Fairstein that put those young boys through all that. Nobody talks about Linda Fairstein at all. They said the Trump campaign countered by noting that Biden was the driving force behind the 1994 crime bill, which led to a sharp uptick in sentences and incarceration rates of Black people, which is true. Trump's campaign and Republican groups backing him have also gone on the offensive, holding a rally in the Bronx last week, a heavily Black and Latino borough, and running text message ad campaigns. They say on Black radio stations. Also, he's running ads in big cities like Philadelphia. Now, there's a brother who's a co-leader of an initiative to register 2024 Black men to vote in Philadelphia, said he doesn't discount people's economic frustrations. He says, economy good. I'm not saying it is. Is inflation real? Of course it is. But nobody's reminding folks who Trump was when he was the president. Nobody freaking cares, sir. Right. Nobody cares. I don't care about Trump's personality. If Trump can get those gas prices down, if Trump can get that inflation down, then hey, it's all right with me. I don't care about that man's personality. And definitely most Black men don't care about his personality, because you know what? You work with a supervisor that talk crazy and all that mess at the job. Do you just quit your job because of it? And most of you out there who complain about Trump and his personality, you got people on your job right now you don't like. You got some people, a supervisor, somebody on your job who you feel is kind of racist. Have you quit your job? They said, man, look, as long as they don't say no N-word to me, or they don't get disrespectful out of pocket with me. I know they really don't like Black people like that, but hey, I got to keep my job. And you know good and well, Black folk, that's the way you operate on your job. You telling people to act a certain way politically, they're not even doing it on their own jobs. Come on now. What's going on with this economy is not about like him or not. It's about, hey, it's making it hard for our families. Biden, I'm sorry, he can't handle the economy. He had almost 4 years to do it, and it's horrible. And we supposed to give this man another 4 years? Come on now. Now, April Verrett, she's a SEIU president, said last week that she thinks that the Biden administration needs to speak directly about economic issues and rising costs. Exactly what I just said. It's not about personalities. It's about the dollar bill and rising cost. He said, but ultimately she believes workers of color, which I hate that term, will not support Trump. He said, I'm not opposed to, I don't have a magic wand or a magic 8-ball. He said, but I am a black woman in America, and I challenge anybody to convince me that black people and brown people are going to get up and vote in mass for a known racist, sexist, misogynist. Let me tell you something. You got bosses on your job that's racist, sexist, and misogynist. And you're behind the work every day. Please. Okay? Now, you talking about quote unquote brown people. More brown people gonna vote for Trump than black people, I promise you that. Especially a lot of brown people that have businesses. And black people that got businesses too is gonna vote for Trump. Biden is horrible in that area. Now, I said I believe the couch will win the black vote in the election. I've said that. I mean, I'm not silly. I understand. The couch. And Trump will get more of the black vote this time than he did last time. I believe that too. But the couch and giving votes to Trump make Biden lose. It is bottom line. Now, she can say our problem is making sure those voters actually make it to cast their ballots. So in other words, she's fearing the couch. The couch is the most powerful entity in this election. The couch. Biden and the Democrats fear the couch. You can attack Trump all day, but you don't have no ads attacking the couch. The couch is your problem, not Trump. I'm telling you, the couch. Because some people don't like now one of the candidates. They say, I don't like Trump. I don't like Biden. I'm choosing the couch. I'm not wasting my time. People are saying, get me off the couch. Tell me why I need, what is it for me? What if I'm gonna get off my couch and go vote in November? Why should I be there to vote?
Right.
What am I getting out the deal? What are you going to do for black people? What you going to do for me personally? What you going to do for my situation and my family? What are you going to do? Telling me somebody's racist is not going to get me off the couch.
Right.
We've been dealing with racism ever since we've been in this country, ever since the inception of this country. We've been dealing with racism. So you're not going to get a rise out of
Showing up on the first page of Google might not be the best for everyone. But for business owners, it is. Take My Vintage's online store. It ranks for thousands of competitive keywords, like vintage clothing, which gets loads of searches on a monthly basis. And 80% of that traffic goes to their site. They also rank for over 1,000 images on Google. All of this drives tons of organic traffic every single month, leading to incredible organic growth year over year and a lot more sales. For those who want to be seen, Wix.com/SEO.
Sorry.
So I was dating this guy, Chris, for years. I wanted to buy a house.
Yep.
Chris didn't.
to me, like, you're so much better. I mean, Biden is the author of the 1994 crime bill that mass incarcerated black people. In the same crime bill, he incentivized states to keep black people locked up 85% of the time when they weren't even doing that before.
Nothing.
He gave them billions of dollars to build more prisons. That was part of his crime bill.
Mm-hmm.
You may not like Trump, you don't have to, but Trump didn't do that. The only thing that Trump did related to prisons is the First Step Act, and there wasn't a law for mass incarceration. If you want to be real, come on, the Biden campaign, you mass incarcerated black people. Trump got some black people out. You never talk about that, though. You never talk. See, I couldn't run against Biden because I'd be hammering that all day. I'll label him the mass incarcerated in chief. That's what, and he still want to keep people locked up. Look at the situation with the PPP and all that. He extended the statute of limitations to lock people up with that. But look all the billions he giving to foreigners, and nobody's having no oversight, no federal prosecutors or nothing going to check all that money given to Ukraine to see if they spending it on the war. Yes, Zelensky, he's up here buying yachts and houses and all kind of stuff off our tax dollars, right? Where he getting the money from for all that when his country is supposed to end a war, right?
Never happened.
Everybody want to lock up somebody that got a $10,000 PPP loan.
All right, man.
If anything, just make them pay it back. No, he wants to lock you up.
Shabaka's joining us. Hey,
I guarantee you, Trump was in office, he wouldn't have signed that. I know he wouldn't.
Sorry, I was asleep, man.
But
when you called, okay, so you got 40 minutes in. Okay,
Biden has to convince people to get off the couch.
Share this shit.
And that's who I believe will win the election. The couch, and the couch. The Democrats cannot defeat the couch. You can say whatever you want to say about Trump, but you can't say nothing about the couch. Because the couch is something that people bought. They enjoy their couch. They love their couch. They sleep on their couch. Right. They watch Netflix on their couch. They do all kinds of things on the couch. You know what I'm saying? So how you gonna get them up off the couch?
Right.
That's gonna be y'all biggest problem. How you gonna get people in their cars?
Right.
And Biden knows there's only one way he can do that, and he's not willing to do it. We know we talking about reparations in the form of cash payments. Well, tonight on the podcast, ladies.
Yep, plenty of space. All right, greetings, Shabaka. Thank you for joining us. What are your thoughts on Jim Crow Biden fearing defeat in November? He's trying to assemble a black voter coalition.
Well, only thing I can say about that is just like here with what Uncle Phil said right here, man, is to cut the goddamn check. Because I ain't getting up off the couch, man, at all. Until the motherfucker sit up there and say, hey, we got reparations for our people, man, and all this old shit, man, I'm tearing that shit up and throwing it in the goddamn trash. The only person who I'm voting for is Jesse Paris, if I could, for any office that I'm eligible to vote for him for. That's it. The rest of these other motherfuckers, they can kiss my ass. Rat Republicans, them and rats, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? They can kiss my ass, man, because I'm so goddamn sick and tired of seeing this bullshit, man, that I've been seeing for over the last 50 years.
I want to buy your...
Fuck the goddamn commercial, bitch. Go buy a damn horse's dick and get the fuck off our platform and miss me with that bullshit. You know, excuse my language. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And
for your grand entrance.
yeah. You see, that's the type of shit that I'm talking about. And I'm discovering, man, that when you get old, right, your patience is going to diminish. Yep. You see what I'm saying? Your patience is going to diminish. Okay, I listened to the playback with Sarge, poor Sarge. Poor Sarge. You know, I put the work in on him, you know, at the end. It's because I was reading, the material that I was reading from was Lerone Bennett, you know, with Ebony Magazine, right? And for some odd reason, man, I do not understand why some of our people, want to consider the great legacy of where we come from to those savages out of Europe, man. And I had to keep telling Sarge, man, and he wanted to argue, man, they did not believe in washing their stinky, funky, nasty asses.
Nope, now, they still don't.
Exactly. Okay, you should see some of these white homeless motherfuckers out here on Las Vegas Boulevard. Oh, I need some change. I need some change. Motherfucker, quit using them goddamn drugs and you'll have some change.
Yeah, come to Quebec. You'll see.
Yeah, because I ain't giving them shit, man. I can't do it no more, bro. This is what happens when you get old, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it no more. Motherfuckers is choosing to be ignorant. Motherfuckers is choosing to be stupid.
Yep.
And ratchet.
No. Yeah. So was that your final thoughts on what Uncle Phil just went over with the Sleepy Jim Crow?
Yeah, I agree with Uncle Phil on that, man. I'm on the motherfucking raggedy ass couch. You know what I'm saying? I cannot go out here, man, and vote for none of this bullshit. Here you got this orange Cheeto iceberg raccoon talking about that he's a victim, man. Motherfucker, you just got hit with 34 felony counts and your stinking ass ain't in jail. And people, well, you got Secret Service protection and all that. And not one of them motherfuckers in the goddamn Congress is saying, hey, well, this dude fucking up the imagery, which is an illusion, of the presidency, strip him of his Secret Service protection. Now, when they sit up there and say they can't do it, then what you have, sir, is tyranny.
Oh, yeah, it's big time tyranny. And he ain't the only one that's going to get convicted.
Yeah, right. And then looking at his boy, Michael Cohen, who did 51 months behind that motherfucking solitary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 51 months. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little bit over 4 years. You see what I mean? You know, Dump, you know, he comes out there, you know, crumb bum on the dude. See, so Dump does not have no loyalty to his crew. You see, everybody that's on Dump's crew, man, you know, he's sacrificing them.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's what I was trying to tell Sarge, but you heard it yourself. Sarge didn't want to listen. You see what I'm saying? And then Sarge says, well, man, you know, when somebody disagree with you, you always shut them off. Well, hell, I'm the goddamn one of the co-executive producers. That's what the fuck we do. We run that shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, just like when we go on other people's platforms. And definitely a shout out to Mr. J Dizzle for joining us.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I'm going to be giving Jay a call, man, asking what's going on, you know, in his life and whatnot. And what it is, ladies and gentlemen, people who think like us, they think there's something is wrong with us, which is bullshit, okay? It's because we're sitting up here, we're telling you the truth. You see what I'm saying? You know, we mentioned the glorious past of where we come from. But once again, you keep trying to compare us to them stinking, nasty-ass Europeans who are nothing more than culture vultures. You see what I'm saying? And then, if somebody out there doesn't dig it, then call into our next podcast on Tuesday. The number is 516-418-5996. Because we're not going to sit up here and talk about that the only way for us to progress as a people is integration. Bullshit. Integration at our labor lets other people prosper, not us.
Well, that should be the topic right there. Integration. Integration.
I think we did an episode about that, but if we do have an episode on it, Brother Paris, then we'll simply make that one part 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we need to do we missed Ali's show. Ali show.
We had the what show?
Ali show.
The Ali show.
Yeah, remember we used to do the Ali shows?
Like, okay.
So like his 75th, I think that was the last one.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely correct. Yeah, you're right. Okay, Ali would have been 82.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so we got to make a tribute to him. All right, now I'm trying to think the closest date of something that was significant in his history. All right, because we missed his birthday. That's January. We also missed the date that he refused the draft. That was April the 28th, I believe. You know what I'm saying? That was April the 28th, I believe, of 1967 when he refused to go into the military because, like I said, it was warm in Los Angeles that day because Mama just got home from a hard day's work and told us, you know, turn off Bugs Bunny, turn on the news, major story, the heavyweight champ just refused induction into the military. And that day was April 28th. You know what I mean? Okay. And then let's see, I'm trying to think off the top of my head of some other significant days that's coming up. Okay, Juneteenth celebration is coming up. I know that. Mm-hmm. So we want to mention Garvey on it. Actually, we need to do one, man, on the history of the red, black, and green flag. Mm-hmm. Because if all these dumpsters is out here waving this shit, Trump this, Trump that, then fuck it, then we need to talk about the red, black, and green flag.
Or any other numerous other flags we got.
Oh, yes, sir. Absolutely. If not all of them. You know what I'm saying? And then you might want to pull up some archives, man, of some anniversary dates on the continent of Africa or Cuba or what have you, of the dates of where they was throwing out the damn colonialists. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're coming up into all that. Well, we about to come into the Chairman Day.
Oh yeah. Oh man, you talking about the chairman on Montgomery?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we got to recognize him. Oh yeah, most definitely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a great day. You know what I'm saying? Because I.W. Harper, Jim Beam, Beefeater, let me see, Schlitz Malt Liquor. You know, they filled a lot of them Caucasoids up with some false pride, and they got knocked to reality. You know what I'm saying? Via left hook, right hands, overhand rights. You know what I mean? And what have you. So most definitely we got to recognize that. Also, too, we're going to be crumb bumming on coons more and more. And the reason being,
yeah, because a lot more on them coons.
Yeah.
This topic, Shabaka, we're going to be here all night.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they're desperate. I'm going to show more clips of the desperation. So Biden begs for the black vote in an empty Philadelphia gym.
Let's see that.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are here. We're live.
TD Media Group.
Listen, if you're a woman, then you really should know some sort of self-defense. And right now, the U.S. concealed
is coming to town. Come meet Biden and Harris, and let's get behind them, Black America and Black Philadelphia. It was packed with black folks to see Trump, wasn't it? It was packed. Did not show up for Joe Biden at all. Let me zoom in just a little bit. And you know what? Let me go ahead and take myself off the screen temporarily. Nobody showed up for Biden. Biden is desperate for that black vote. And literally nobody showed up. The gymnasium was empty.
Great news.
It looks like it's at least a quarter, if not less than that full. It's just pathetic. It's pathetic. And then the Biden and the DNC should be ashamed of themselves. Let's go through some other photos right here. Look at this. Oh my God, this is horrible. This is pathetic. And look at how they have to take photos at angles in order to make it look like it was packed. You see, you have to get up real close. Now, when you stand all the way to the back, nobody's in there. Right. Because nobody is voting for Joe Biden this election, especially not black folks. Seemingly this time around, they're not going to vote for him. It doesn't look like it. They have to get up real close, and even when they get up close, look at this. There's still no one there. Even when you get in close, there's still no one here in the gymnasium. And as you can see, this was black voters for Biden and Harris. That's what this event was. And black folks didn't show up. They didn't show up. Look at this photo over here. You can see this is where the press is, and all behind them is empty. It's completely empty. Nobody showed up for Biden. Now, you know where folks did show up to? Trump had that Chick-fil-A packed in Atlanta, didn't he? That Chick-fil-A in Atlanta was packed with black folks to see Trump, wasn't it? It was packed. Trump had the Chick-fil-A packed. I think there were more black people in that Chick-fil-A in Atlanta to see Donald Trump than there were in this extra empty gymnasium in Philadelphia to see Joe Biden. Oh man, Chick-fil-A was jumping. It was jumping.
No, that's bad.
Oh man, it was jumping. But let me reel it in a little bit. I know some of you watching, the vote blue no matter who is, God bless your heart and your soul. I know some of you will say concerning, that Chick-fil-A stint, the Chick-fil-A incident that, it was pre-planned and whatnot. It was pre-planned. And that's why it was so packed with people. It's not like Trump showed up on the spot and black folks just came through to show him love. And here's where I got you. Here's where I got you on all that. Because the reality is this: when you're talking about the president of the United States and former president Donald Trump, they're not moving around willy-nilly just popping up on people and popping up at places unannounced, right? Everything is pre-planned. Everything is pre-planned. And that's what makes Joe Biden in Philadelphia and the lack of Black support there that much more pathetic. Because this event was pre-planned. Everyone knew Joe Biden was going to be there. They knew Kamala Harris was going to be there. And they still didn't show up. That's what makes this even worse. This was planned. The memo went out. Biden and Harris is coming to town. Come meet Biden and Harris, and let's get behind them, Black America and Black Philadelphia, to galvanize Black people across America as well as in Philadelphia, to get them to get behind Biden.
Shout out to the MD.
And that was the turnout.
This is a bad.
After weeks of planning, what you're seeing on your screen was the turnout.
But I've yet to see
truly pathetic. It is truly pathetic. Once again, I don't see in any way, shape, form, or fashion Biden having any true path to victory. Once again, as I always say, without that 2020 magic, without that 2020 magic, that's literally the only way that he can win. All polls show that he doesn't stand a chance. Wherever he goes, in order to meet with Black folks who he desperately needs in order to save his campaign, they don't show up. I wish I had the photo available right now. I don't think I still have it queued up from the past live stream. But how many of you all remember when Joe Biden went down to, I believe it was South Carolina, and he went to some historic Black church? I don't remember what the name of that church is called, but it was one of those long names like the Presbyterian Methodist of Christ, African church, some church that has been around since like the 1800s, right? It's a Black church. How many of you all remembered when we looked at the photos of Biden in that Black church in South Carolina? It was packed with white Americans in a Black church in South Carolina, a historically Black church that has Africa in the name of the church. And there was only white Americans in that church that came to see Biden. Biden couldn't even fill up a Black church with old Black people who are the most loyal of his constituents concerning Black people. He couldn't even fill up a Black church for Black folks to come see him in South Carolina. They had to pack it out with white liberals. It was white liberals that filled it up. So once again, if some way, somehow, this man Biden manages to win, we all know what's up, man. We all know what's up. We all know what's up. There's just no way. There's no way.
Election, Biden could not draw no crowd.
Pretty much.
They're not randomly just popping up at spots. These are pre-planned events, and ain't nobody going up for you. And you said that you're coming out for Black people, and it's supposed to be a Black event, and it was like maybe one Black person in the pictures and video that we seen of this shit that TD just played before he hopped on. It really was not that big of a crowd. And it was all white people for the most part in the crowd.
2020 magic. That's called 2020 magic. What is 2020 magic? 2020 magic, as I've stated over and over again, it's when you go to sleep thinking one guy won because he's far and way ahead in the lead. And there seemingly is no path to victory for the other man to win when you went to bed. But when you woke up in the morning, the other man won by a long shot. He just boom, he just won. You woke up and the guy who was way in the back all of a sudden won. That's that 2020 magic. Don't go to sleep this election. November 5th, I believe it is, 2024. Don't go to bed. Going to bed is that's when they're going to get you. If you go to sleep this November during the election, when you wake up, they're going to pull the wool over your eyes again, and Biden's going to mess around and he won the election. I think we're going to have to pull an all-nighter this November, and we're going to have to stay up the entire election in order to keep an eye on what's really going on. Right? Because that's literally the only way that Biden has Black experience on election day night. I have a pre-recorded video that I'm going to upload tomorrow discussing how down bad he is with the young voters. Young voters have all but abandoned Joe Biden. He literally has no support. But if it's now that we got all the ha-ha-has and he's out of the way, they're not showing I do want to address a few things concerning what Biden had to say. Biden and Harris did speak in this empty gymnasium.
Those are facts.
They both spoke here, right?
Video.
And
MD.
I want to get into a few things that Biden said. I could take time and just rip apart the entire 30-minute, speech in the empty gymnasium with no Black people in there. But there's no reason to do that. I really just want to touch on like the key thing.
Has anyone ever lied to you, played games with you, burned you, cheated?
Key things that Biden stated and that he talked about in this empty gymnasium. I want to focus in on that and just explain some of those things, bring some clarity to what Biden is actually saying. So let's jump into it right now.
In November,
there are 572 of you in the stream. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. That's extremely important to the growth of this channel. And let's get into it.
Do this conspiracy theory.
Rewind it back just a little bit. He starts off saying something snapped in this guy, right? Something snapped in Donald Trump after he lost the 2020 election. This is what he's getting at when he says something snapped in this guy. He just kind of jumps straight into it. Okay, so let's get.
I recall.
Really snapped in this guy.
With my memory,
No, I'm serious. That's why January 6th happened, when he unleashed an insurrection.
So high.
Now he's running again, and he's clearly unhinged.
Back and win.
He calls insurrectionists who stormed the Capitol patriots.
All of a sudden,
patriots.
Biden was ahead.
If reelected, he wants to pardon, quote, every one of them.
Ballots that came in.
Let me ask you, what do you think he would have done on January 6th if Black Americans had stormed it? Think about this. What do you think would have happened if Black Americans had stormed the Capitol?
Man,
I think he'd be talking about pardons.
Oh, he's pandering heavy. Biden is pandering.
I'm not as obvious.
He said, "What do you think? What do you think would happen if Black people had stormed the Capitol on J6? What do you think would happen? Do you think
you would have had a U.S. military out there
pardon all those Black folks?" That's what he's getting at.
No, man,
he's hinting and alluding
it wouldn't
to
have
the
been no
idea
Black folks, y'all would have been
Trump
dead.
is racist, but he isn't, right?
That's what we.
I'm actually one who is more of the belief that Trump actually would have pardoned them. He would have, because there's historical precedent to that, right? What do I mean? I know for some of you might be scratching your head right now, like, huh? You really think that, CD? Yeah. And there is some history behind it. Now, why do I say that? Well, let's get into it. I want to pull up an article for you very quickly. I want to pull this article up for you here. And I want to discuss what seemingly is turning out to be Donald Trump's history of pardoning and releasing from jail, we'll put air quotes around it, criminals, right? Pardoning criminals. The J6ers were criminals. Let's get into this here. Excuse me. The First Step Act promised widespread reform. What has the criminal justice overhaul achieved so far? Let's get into this, because this is what, Trump signed into law. He could have vetoed this if he wanted to. He could have vetoed it, but he didn't. He signed it into law when it came across his desk. And now let's get into and see the impact of this, and let's weigh that and compare it to Joe Biden's history, right? As it pertains to locking people up and pardoning folks and things of that nature. Let's get into that. The article reads, and I'll just get into the highlighted points. In 2004, when Tanisha Bannister was 29, a judge sentenced her to life in prison for selling crack, convicting the single mother of two.
She got life.
She'd never be free again. She was sentenced to jail for life for selling crack. For selling crack.
Thanks to Sleepy Jim Crow.
Listen, drug dealing is bad. Drug dealing is wrong, right? For lack of better words. Or I should say, to say the least. I have a cousin who, I won't say his name. He was hooked really bad, not on crack. I'm not really sure what he was on, honestly. But he was on drugs really, really bad when I was in high school. He's about 3 years older than me. He was on it so bad that his parents actually had to put him out the house, because he was stealing from his parents. He was stealing from his sisters, selling their stuff to go, get high and whatnot. It was really, really bad. Luckily, he overcame his addiction, and he's been sober now for well over a decade. So thank God to that. But I say that to say this, I know what it's like kind of being on the other side of that situation, when you have family members that are like hooked on drugs bad. I remember one time, giving him some money because I didn't want him to go out and do other things to get it. You know what I mean? So it's really bad, So I understand what it's like to be on the other side of that when you have a family member who's hooked. Give me just a moment. You all know, if you're a regular to this channel, you know why I'm walking away right now. If you're a regular to this channel, you know why I have to step away. Sometimes I interrupt my live streams with foolishness. Give me just a second. Millions of Americans, mostly Black men in American prisons. Who authored that bill? Who authored that bill, which was strategically designed specifically for the purposes of putting Black men in jail who either sold crack and or were addicted to crack? Joe Biden was. Biden was. How an early Biden crime bill created sentencing disparities for crack and cocaine trafficking. Now, I'm not going to go into this article right now because many of us know this history already. We all know this history already. Biden is the one who authored this racist bill. He's the one who put this woman in jail for life simply for selling crack. Now, let's get back into this article and read what the outcome was of all this and the impact of the First Step Act, right? But as time in prison stretched on, Bannister, who is Black, began to question the legitimacy of her harsh punishment for a non-violent crime. Then in May, she became one of more than 4,500 people released or who have seen their prison terms shortened since December 2018, when Trump signed into law one of the most significant changes to the federal criminal justice system in the 21st century. Mind you, this article comes from NBC. This is NBC who wrote this. NBC, you might as well switch those letters out and call them DNC, okay? Right. This is NBC DNC who wrote this, and even NBC DNC had to give it up and stated that this is one of the most significant changes to the federal criminal justice system in the 21st century. Under this bill that was signed into law by Trump, this woman who went to jail under Biden's law was freed. And a lot of Black men and women were freed and given a second chance at life under this bill that was signed into law by Trump. Has Biden signed any transformative bill even close to this nature that you can look at and say that it had a significant impact on the Black community? No. What you can do, on the other hand, though, is agree that he has signed bills that have had significant impacts on the Black community, just on the negative side, as it pertained to the 86 crack laws that was specifically designed to put Black men in jail. It was literally tailored for that purpose. Literally tailored for that purpose. So when Biden asked the question, well, do you think if the J6ers were Black, he would pardon them? Well, history showed that Trump pardoned all the folks that you put in jail. All the Black people you put in jail, Biden. For the most part, Trump pardoned them, and you didn't. And funny enough, under your administration and DNC rule, just like how you put a bunch of Black folks in jail under a bogus crack law, under your rule, you put a bunch of J6s in jail. And as history is repeating itself to some degree, if Trump gets into office, he's going to release them too. So it looks like Trump actually has a history of releasing criminals from jail. Criminals who found themselves placed in jail behind who? Joe Biden. Either directly or indirectly. Whether it was a bill that he signed or whether it was under his, DOJ, Department of Justice, concerning January 6ers. History shows Biden locks people up and Trump releases them from jail. This is not me being a fanboy. People get upset when you point stuff like this out. Oh, you love Donald Trump. Oh, you love Trump. Oh, you're such a fan. History is history. We're just going based off history. Don't get mad at me because history doesn't reflect well on the favor of Biden. That's not my fault. I can't help it that Biden is an anti-Black racist. I can't help it. It is what it is. Now, if you want to make an argument that Trump is a racist, you can make that argument if you want to, but you're not going to make that argument and pretend like Biden isn't one either. And I'm definitely not going to let Biden make that argument as he was trying to make in an empty gymnasium filled with no Black people who were supposed to show up, but didn't show up because they know he's full of crap. So now let's carry on. I don't think I have anything else left here to read. Let's get back into the actual video that we were watching earlier, okay? And there are 735 of you in the stream right now. If you haven't already much, I can tell I already can't read your username, but I'm going to try. You all know I struggle sometimes with the reading, especially when it comes to names. I think the name is Minnesota County. Minnesota County Unsolved Crime Channel. Oh, you're promoting your YouTube channel, huh? Okay. I see you trying to come up off my live stream, huh? You're trying to get subscribers off this 755 people watching the stream. Okay, I see you, Minnesota County Unsolved Crime Channel. Man, go over there to Minnesota County Unsolved Crime Channel. You know what I'm saying? I see you. I see what you're doing there. All right, I ain't mad at it. Said Kamala, Macho Man Harris Neck has a lot of veins. Kamala Macho Man Harris neck has a lot of veins. Yeah, her neck does have a lot of veins, her neck does have a lot of veins. And I appreciate you, Minnesota, for contributing to today's stream, being the first person to contribute. Thank you very much. I literally do not exist without everyone's support. So thank you very much, Minnesota. Your contribution to today's stream does not go unrecognized. I truly do appreciate it. Thank you. Now, let's get back into the BS of Biden, right? Because he said a couple of more things that I just want to kind of rip apart and dismantle.
Same guy wanted to tear gas you as you peacefully protested George Floyd's murder.
Let's listen to that again. He's talking nonsense.
It's the same guy who wanted to tear gas you as you peacefully protested George Floyd's murder.
When did Donald Trump say he wanted to tear gas black people? I missed that. You know, I mean, he was in office for, you know, what, 4 years. The last year of his presidency, the whole George Floyd thing popped off in 2020. I don't ever recall hearing Trump ever saying he wanted to tear gas black people. Let me know in the live chat. Have you ever heard that? Have you ever heard Donald Trump said, "Man, I wish I could
gas black people," but I've heard him say he want to back the blue and give them more qualified immunity and all kinds of
yeah. So he might as well have done it. Yeah, because that's another issue, Brother Paris. I'm glad you brought that up. Now, I'm really going to roast Sarge on the next episode, is because we're going to talk about this qualified immunity. Okay, MD20 says Hakeem Jeffries wrote the First Step Act, is all I'm saying. These dudes don't tell the whole story. Politics is a game of giving and receiving. This dude is playing partisan politics. Well, MD20, you will get no argument from me, because that's exactly what the fuck they're doing. Yes, sir.
Democrats had control of Congress at the time.
Yep.
Had control of the Congress at the time of Osambo.
Exactly. And then also, to a sad note that I put in the chat room, is that Deontay Wilder got knocked out tonight in the 5th round.
Yes. Sure.
Yeah, okay. So I think Mr. Wilder has made enough money, or should have made enough money, to provide for his daughter. He was a late starter in professional boxing, and he did it to provide for his daughter. So hopefully Deontay has provided for his daughter, and what the brother needs to do is that he needs to go on and hang it up. You know what I'm saying? And Mr. Wilder, we appreciate what you did. You know, you was being a strong black father in a brutal sport. Huh?
What was his record? How many losses, wins, losses?
Okay, let's see. Deontay now has 4 losses, I believe. I'm just going off the top of my head. I'm yet to pull up the story. But we're going to mention it, man, the next time we do Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. You know what I'm saying? It is a brutal business. So I appreciate that man, you know, taking the risk that he did, okay, to provide
his daughter, right?
Yeah, you know, to provide for his daughter. And by the way, that bum Tyson Fury got his ass whooped. And me personally, they should have stopped the fight. And Tyson Fury is a bum. I'm saying it. He was a fucking bum all the fuck along. A goddamn bum is what the fuck he was. So I'm glad he got his motherfucking ass whooped. He can go fuck himself. Mr. Wilder, I appreciate you, sir, of what you did to provide for your child.
Okay, Shabaka. I think there's some more of the sleepy Jim Crow biting talking.
Yeah. Let me hear this sleepy motherfucker.
Tear gas the blacks, you know, over there protesting George Floyd. I'm going to tear gas the blacks badly. I don't think I've ever heard him say anything of that nature before.
They're going to put you
he definitely
go back in chains.
I've heard Joe Biden say that. I've heard Joe Biden talk about how we're going to get put back in chains, you know, if a Republican takes office again.
They're going to put you all back in chains.
They're going to bring back chattel slavery. We're all getting put back in chains.
They're going to put you all back in chains.
They're going to sell us off to the highest bidder, you know, apparently. I've heard that before, but I've never heard Donald Trump say, I wish I could tear gas the blacks. I've never heard that one before. That's a new one. Sounds like nonsense. It sounds like
he did say some fucked up shit though, where he was like, yeah, these the ones that you just gotta hit one time, beat up beside the head and shit, so they get the memo. You gotta drag them out and all of that. He did say so. Okay, they're both racist. So we're damned if we do, damned if we don't. Like, what is the point?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm on the couch, Brother Jay. You see what I mean? And then not to mention the fact, as we did on our special edition, we crumb bombed on these black coon ass politicians.
Oh yeah,
that refuse, you know, to take care of our agenda and black agendas first. So what the fuck we listening to them for, man?
What are they existing for? These folks,
Exactly.
the caucus represents their people's best interests.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Black caucus, which needs to be changed to the minority caucus. Or
man, what they need to be changed is to the caucus of garbages, man, because all they're doing is talking loud and saying nothing, like James Brown said in the early 1970s, talking loud, boom, boom, and saying nothing, boom, boom, saying nothing, boom, boom.
Like Jeff Fart. So we're going. I'm gonna move us along because it's already like 11:30.
Yeah, where you guys are at, yeah.
So the next topic is also Democratic related.
Okay.
Democratic related, and that is Black Democrats Warren Biden. He is on the chopping block, basically.
Okay.
Well, tonight on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen,
he's running out of time to get the black vote.
Yeah.
There's a lot of black surrogates in the Democrat Party feel Biden is running out of time with black votes.
For all you Democratic shills.
Voters, they're feeling the crunch. Case in point, let's go ahead and do a review of this article here out of Politico, where Biden's black voter troubles are setting off alarms. Well, we've been saying that right here on this microphone for a while. And as we can see, he's not fixing it no time soon. The prominent black officials are warning the Biden campaign that the president's efforts to keep black voters firmly and enthusiastically in his electoral coalition aren't working, and that time is running out to get his message across. They said the publicly voiced concern from these black Democrats isn't that the White House lacks policy achievements. It's that black voters aren't hearing about them. Worse, they fear the Biden campaign has not fully grasped the severity of the information gap at hand, particularly in key battleground states. Let me tell you something. It's not that black people can't grasp something. The fact that you're not doing nothing for black folk. We have seen you do everything for everybody else,
right?
But not for black folk in particular.
That part.
You did something for the Asian community in particular. You did something for LGBT in particular. You even doing things for the migrants in particular. But you haven't done nothing for black Americans, the people that got you in the White House, and you wondering why they're not showing up for you. I'm just saying. Now they continue to say, one Democrat operative that's black said, "I'm in a battleground state. I know what has and hasn't been done. I felt a level of disconnection earlier on the message, on the messengers, and on mobilization," said a Representative Steve Horsford. He's the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. He said he has brought this issue directly to the campaign. Now, sister girl Jasmine Crockett said a balkanized news landscape where voters are increasingly tuning in to more non-traditional sources of information has contributed to the problem. Is that I think the way that we communicate has changed in such a way that if you don't invest earlier, it's going to be a problem. She continues to say, "I'm not saying that it's the last minute, but we are in crunch time." So Jasmine Crockett is saying basically, a lot of you not listening to Joy Reid. A lot of you not listening to CNN. You're not listening to them. You're not even listening to Boule Martin. You're listening to more people like myself, right? And listen, let me tell you Democrats something and Republicans something. The way to get to the voters now is not going to be through MSNBC, Fox News, CNN, and the rest of them. No. It's going to be through independent news organizations, podcasts, etc. That has the pulse of the people because that's what the people are tuning in. Yep. So maybe y'all need to take that good government money and open it up for people like, us on these microphones. Right. Because if that's the place you think you can get an audience, you maybe won't come talk to us a little bit. But see, the problem why you don't want to talk to us is one, we're not your boule circles. We're not, that's number one. Two, you don't want to be pressed on certain issues. You don't want to be asked certain questions. You don't. And that's really the problem. Okay. Now, if I had to run for office, you better believe I'm going through all the microphones I can to get to the people. Now, I say, but more privately, Democratic operatives express other fears, including that black influencers and media personalities have soured on Biden. Look at there. Are y'all admitting in Politico that these microphones are now king and queen makers? Are you saying that now? Are you saying that the mainstream media has no relevance in galvanizing anybody about an election? Sure, they can just be there to report things in breaking news in real time because they got the resources to do it. Hell, I would do it if I had the resources. But when it comes to talking to the people in a political sense, you're admitting, at least the Democrats are admitting, that if black influencers or black media personalities don't like you, then maybe the people are going to have a problem with you too. They continue to say, and that the president himself had eschewed major interviews and less scripted campaign styles, making him less accessible to voters. That black leaders also see the community as open to Donald Trump's campaign targeted entreaties. So they're admitting and say, hey, the black community will listen to Trump. This is not going back to 2020. This isn't 2016. No, they're actually listening to both sides now. They continue saying while black voters, according to surveys, are supportive of Biden policies like student debt relief and funding for historic black colleges, when they're familiar with them, they say the stubbornness of inflation remains a huge concern, as with broader public. And they say those concerns can prove especially critical in the battleground states of Georgia, where black people make up 32% of the eligible voting population, in North Carolina, where they account for roughly 22%, even a slight dip in support among black voters in states like Pennsylvania, where roughly 10% of eligible voters are black, could cost Biden the election. Though Harsford said he believes the campaign has begun to make changes, on Wednesday it launched the Black Voters for Biden-Harris at a splashy campaign rally with the president and vice president at a black college in Philadelphia. Once again, why are you saying that basically black people will make and break the election for Democrats? Why you didn't think about that when you gave the Asians the hate crime bill? Huh? Hello? Anybody home? Think, McFly, think.
We home.
Why y'all didn't give a black people? If you'd have gave black Americans an anti-black hate crime bill, or even added black Americans to that bill, you wouldn't have this problem right now. You would not have this problem. But y'all are so dead set and not doing nothing specifically for black Americans. And now black Americans see you.
Yep.
He continued to say he also noted that he wasn't the only notable Democrat to talk to Biden re-election team about his fears. He said black Democratic operatives in the field say their research shows that the information gap problem Biden faces is severe and that it's causing a dip in enthusiasm. And say it's in a recent North Carolina focus group of black voters conducted by Blacc. Those who backed Biden in 2020 said they felt the promises he made to their community hadn't come to fruition. Translation, he didn't do nothing. The voters that Blacc has focused on are the working class black voters who don't attend Morehouse College or even end up in HBCUs. In other words, the rank and file black person. They say the PAC believes these voters have yet to hear about Biden's accomplishments and could determine the election results, and say in several key states.
I ain't gonna hear about
something. I quote, say it is that distinction between the MSNBC crowd and getting their political information from social media sources, said a Cornell Belcher who has conducted the focus groups for Blacc and was President Barack Obama's pollster. He said that's really the big difference. If they are watching Joy Reid, they know Biden's accomplishments. If they are spending time in the Shade Room or a dozen other social media news sites, they never hear that Biden used an executive order to ban chokeholds in federal office. Oh no, on this microphone and on our platforms, we talked about what Biden done with the executive order with chokeholds with federal law enforcement. But this is what we covered too, which you're not saying. The majority of black Americans don't have run-ins with federal law enforcement. Like FBI, U.S. Marshals, Coast Guard, Border Patrol. No. Most black Americans have run-in with city cops, state police, county police. That's where most of the run-ins happen. That executive order that you're talking about does nothing in the cities. Does not a thing. That only covers federal law enforcement. We talked about that here. So yes, we know about the executive order. We're going to cover those things. Our viewers are very smart, very, very smart.
Right. This is
y'all sitting up here doing this black people are dumb stuff because they don't listen to Joy Reid. Nobody's listening to Joyless Reid. I say black voters are one of the most important blocks for Biden. He didn't show that during his time in office, with older black women in particular having been the backbone for Democrats for years. But polling and focus groups showed that younger voters and black men have soured on Biden. And say a recent Washington Post poll found that 41% of black Americans aged 18 to 39 are certain to vote this year, down from 61% in June 2020. It said a senior Biden campaign official said the campaign is not blind to the frustration from black leaders, or the importance of bringing back the voting bloc into the fold. It said the official acknowledged that there was a lack of awareness of Biden's accomplishments among black voters, but argued that the campaign was sanguine on confronting the challenge. Because he hasn't done anything.
Right.
Would you stop with the
lies? There you go.
Lies.
I'm telling you. Trifling.
Stop lying.
All right.
If he done something for black Americans, we all would feel it. I would give him credit if he did something for black Americans that we can see in our everyday lives. You don't do nothing for nobody if they can't see it in your everyday life.
Right.
That's like telling your lady that you had basically did an investment for her on a stock or something, and you say, "Well, you know, I put $10,000 in a stock for you." Well, if she don't ever see the money coming from that stock, and the stock just sitting there, you say, "Well, see, I did that for you." You see, you say, "Okay, where's the money on return?" Now, if you gave her the money, or like you put in 10,000, you got 20,000, you gave her 20. You say, "Hey, look, I invested in this stock for you. I made 20,000 off of it. Here's the 20,000." Then she will say, "Yes, he did do something for me. He invested 10,000, got back 20, and gave me the 20. I got the 20 right here. So look, he did something for me because I have something tangible in my hand." Right. If black Americans can't see tangible results,
that's right,
in their everyday life, you did nothing. Bottom line. And people that got their student loan debt forgiven, great for them. But the majority of black Americans don't have student loan debt.
Get my vote, though.
So you didn't do nothing for black people.
Right.
Let's say the Biden campaign invested 7 figures this month in black media, including a series instead of new television and radio ads last week, challenging Trump's record with the black community. Said Biden also met with family members of the plaintiffs from 1954 Brown versus Board of Education case. He invited leaders of the Divine Nine. We already know about that, the Boule.
Yeah.
He said the historical black fraternities and sororities to the White House, like they are leaders, spoke at the NAACP events in Detroit and Washington, D.C. They're not our leaders either. And delivered the commencement address at the storied Morehouse College in Atlanta. Okay, that didn't do nothing for black people. And this year alone, Biden has done 12 interviews with black journalists or radio hosts, and said the most recent one, D.L. Hughley, on Wednesday. Nobody listens to D.L. Hughley at all. He's a Democrat shield. And said the campaign argues that its approach to informing and winning over black voters is holistic. As in a recent podcast interview, Vice President Kamala Harris put a finer point on something the campaign has said before. They know they need to earn the support of black voters, especially black men. You know how you earn the support of black men? Do something for black men. Right. If you do something for black men, and I'm a black man, do something for me.
Right. Yes,
do something for the rest of my brethren.
For us.
Then we would say, you did something. You got time. You got time to do something for black men. You got plenty of time. I said, black men, as she said, are like everybody. You got to earn the vote. Harris said, like any other group, this is not a monolith. So let's not just have the raw kind of talking points as though black men only care about criminal justice. Well, thank you, Kamala, for actually saying that not all black men are criminals. Right. And we actually worry about other things like our businesses, taxes, capital for our businesses.
Right.
We think about training for our jobs. We think about getting certifications. We think about the interest rates and getting approved for a home for our families.
Yep. Right.
Why don't y'all do something with the FHA with black men who get homes? for our families. That would actually do something great for black men. We can put our families in homes and not be renting.
Right.
That's something y'all can do right now. You don't even need Congress.
Right.
So I'm giving y'all ideas. But see, y'all don't talk to the right people. And see, if you can't talk to me, I can give you a laundry list of ideas that you can do right now that would benefit black men. Right now, you don't need Congress for reparations. You're going to need Congress for that. But I'm talking about things they can do right now through the FHA, SBA, quickly do things they can do. But time is running low in order to earn these votes. And there are a lot of votes to earn. They say the April Wall Street Journal poll in 7 swing states found that 30% of black men were either definitely or probably going to vote for former President Donald Trump. It said a jump from 12% of black men who supported Trump nationwide in 2020. Those numbers haven't just alarmed party officials, they've confounded them. They say, and they quote, "This is blasphemy for me as an Obama guy. I would argue he's got a better story to tell," said Belcher. They said, but they are running out of time. And so you say to me, Cornell, what worries you the most? They have a shorter runway than they think. So even the black shields are saying that Biden is in the fourth quarter and Biden is approaching the 2-minute warning. That's basically what they're saying.
And he's down by 3
Biden's not realizing
touchdowns.
he's down bad with black men in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Down.
Approaching a 2-minute warning. That's basically what they're saying.
Yeah.
The shields are right. The Democrat operatives who are black are 100% right in everything they're saying. They better listen to them or Biden gonna lose that election. The only way Biden don't lose that election unless they put Trump in jail at this point. Yeah. That's the only way he won't. He
that motherfucker is not going to jail.
Because I don't know a lot of people happy to go vote for Biden. Sorry, of course, there's people that diehard Democrats. They're gonna vote for Biden. They don't care about what Biden do. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. But we're talking about black people who got a lot of sense to say, wait a minute, this dude not it, man.
Right.
Look at our life. Look at what we're going through with this dude.
Right.
That's the black people that's going to make and break that election right there. And a lot of black men are talking about voting. And we just had our live stream on African Diaspora News Channel. Y'all, those of you who came and was there, you heard black men and black women talking about voting for Trump. And they trying to brand that, oh, you must be a sellout if you vote for Trump. It's not that they want to vote for Trump because they're Republican. That's why I keep saying that. It's not about Republican. It's about what Trump's offering and what Trump is not offering, at least what the Democrats are doing. That's really what a lot of it is. And until it's not nothing to be perplexed about, just listen to what Trump's offering. That's all. And the Democrats aren't offering that. They keep offering everything that LGBT, abortion, voting rights, and all of that, right? Migrants. But they're not thinking about black folks, and black folks, in the end, is not going to think about them. Introducing the African...
Oh, fuck the commercial. Fuck the commercial. Fuck the commercial.
App, though, and the Frontline campaign app.
We need an app, and we need to start researching that.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on what Uncle Phil just laid out, Shabaka, about the?
Okay. Well, the man spoke. Okay, the man spoke the truth quite well and what have you. I would have been more colorful relating said truth, and basically, fuck the Democratic Party, fuck Joe Biden. Fuck these congressional ass house nigga ass coons who's been selling us down the goddamn tubes. And the reason why I'm so cynical, because see, you know, I'm in my twilight years right now. Yeah. And it just pisses me off, man, of what I've witnessed, man, for the last 40 fucking years, of where every damn election cycle, every 2 years, here come these black ass politicians. Vote Democrat. Support Joe Biden. Support Bill Clinton. Support Jimmy Carter. Support other sack of shit out there. Barack Obama. You know what I'm saying? Democrat. In the meantime, mass incarceration is going up. More police killings of unarmed black people are going up. More black family units are being shattered. And then people... more and more black men are going up here shoving ketchup up their ass, talking about that they're menstruating.
The Joshua.
Yeah, the Joshua syndrome. Now, if this here black family ain't nothing to be concerned about, I don't know what to say. Then that means that people in my generation, the ones before me, who try to do the right thing, okay, it all went down in vain, and we're better than that. You know what I'm saying? We're better than that. You see what I mean? We're better than that. And then on top of that is that we got to start controlling some fucking banking industries, some high-tech industries. You see what I'm saying? Is because they doing all this shit, and all these other groups are prospering, ladies and gentlemen, at our expense. Okay, now, in the black community, you got this, the generations after me, you know, this concept of foundational black Americans, the concept of the Moors, the concept of the Hebrew Israelites, another concept out there to come back to me. This is what happens when you get old, folks. Okay, you forget shit. Okay, but so what it is that, you know, you have all these factors that are dividing us as opposed to unifying us. You see, as we say, keep your head on the swivel, stand on your square. You see what I mean? You know, then we got to stop all the infighting within the black community, or the so-called black community. Foundational black Americans, whichever term you want to use. I'm talking about the descendants off of that continent that is east of South America, that's due south of Europe, and that is west of Asia. I'm talking about that continent right there. Just like, you know, I had to tell old Sarge, you know, and I didn't like to have to tell Sarge the bitter truth. You see what I mean? Okay, but Sarge just wants to sit up here and tell us, okay, Brother Che, you were on there toward the end what I read out of materials, you know, left by the late, great Lerone Bennett Jr. You see what I mean? About how these Caucasoids had came up there, used lies, deceit.
They didn't let us, Jesse.
Yeah, y'all wouldn't let us get a word in edgewise.
Let us get in a word in edgewise. We were there.
Who was this? Who wouldn't let you get a Who wouldn't let you get a word in edgewise?
Me and Lady you and Sarge, I was going at it. I didn't think y'all could hear us.
We were hollering at y'all for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, but it might have been acoustics because I had your mics on muted, you know what I'm saying? So they might have been, you know, throwing monkey wrenches off in our works again.
Y'all just weren't paying attention to us.
No, yes, we was, Lady J. You know what I'm saying? Because your mics were unmuted. You know what I mean? And
Shabaka, for like 10 minutes.
Well, you know, that is because I was going back and forth with Sarge, but your mics were on me.
Exactly.
So more
barely got a word in.
Or unless Lady J has something to add.
What was the thing again? Because I was like,
it's just showing how desperate to do it.
Yeah, we're gonna start seeing a lot of shilling. Probably more. They think they got a little upper hand right now with the verdict. But I think it don't really matter.
The dumpster said they still gonna vote for him.
I don't think it really matters. There are several opinions on the subject, but I don't think that no matter what the fucking Democrats do, it's gonna make a difference. And not only that, they're not speaking to a lot of different things. They're not speaking to that Project 2025 shit that Trump's talking about. They're not speaking of reparations for black folk. They're not speaking to nothing of fucking importance. So whatever they're talking about is a lot of just shilling and popularity or whatever. And as you notice, Biden will get booed and told to fuck off too, like he does in other places. So I don't really think that it's really gonna matter. I don't even think he was really doing that much campaigning. And even with the help of Obama for 2 seconds, he's not really getting anywhere.
Well, that's just it though, Lady Che. What Biden is what they would call a dead horse, okay? Is because Biden never had the interests of the black community at heart. It's because when he was younger, he did not want his children to go to the integrated schools with black children is
integrate children into a jungle.
Yeah, exactly. It's because if I recall, now I'm going from memory, folks. In the early 1970s, particularly up there in Boston, okay, they were protesting this busing. And these white folks were very, very vehemently against this busing of the black students into the white schools and the white students into the black schools. And there's this famous picture in the Jet magazine or Johnson Publications of these two white boys beating this brother with an American flag pole. And I mean, they got him bad. You see what I mean? But Biden doesn't want to mention that. Then they came with this alphabetized agenda in the 90s where they creeped it in. And it's through the ratchetness of the music that you got currently today that has shattered the black family unit. Okay. One factor is all this ratchetness of a black woman getting up here twerking and all this old type of shit. Our people sitting out there talking about destroying each other, crumb bumming on each other. Okay, then of course, P. Diddy, what's going on with him. And I still say it when that story broke, Brother Che, Diddy bailed.
Oh, yeah, that was off to the Barbados.
Yeah, Diddy bailed like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he did.
And then you got to look at the ratchetness that they did with the hip hop industry that further shattered the black family unit. Now, our man Tupac Shakur, when he made the record Dear Mama, okay, all right, and he said that his mother was a crack fiend.
Clip, but Dear Mama, one of my all-time favorite songs by Mars Shakur. Oh, Lady Changes One. And the whole was banging Me Against the World. Classic.
Yeah. And then and don't get me wrong, I appreciate the art of rhythm and poetry.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm just reaching out to those cats running that Diddy, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg. Man, people, change your fucking lyrics, man. All that shit is negative, but the beats is outstanding. The visuality is great. It's beautiful. But just change the messages, because you brothers are in a position, or should be in a position now, that you made your money for your generations to come to start doing some more moving and shaking. And you can do it. You know what I'm saying? And you gentlemen can do it. They can do it.
Degeneracy.
Yeah, and then what's happening is that you got these fucking cockazoids who's getting more and more comfortable of using this NGR term. And with my old ass, I would take my cane, back brace, or whatever, and bash your motherfucking brains out. You come up there and call me that shit, so help me God. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, you come from that time, Shabaka.
Yeah, and it's not a bad time that I came from.
And why they say that the way they do, because they can't say the actual word, which is Nagas.
Right.
We are gods, we are kings, we are rulers.
Now, there was a brother in Panther Town that gave me some knowledge on that, and he was talking about the third eye. You see what I mean? Okay, so that's good. That's good.
Another clip to play, Shabaka.
Yeah.
And then we got this dump, as in human shit.
Oh, yeah. Now, here's a motherfucker, a goddamn convicted felon, going up to his luxury apartment. You know what I'm saying?
Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate.
A lot of these documents, looking
justice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
Charlemagne, the god of the Breakfast Club, visited the ladies of The View not too long ago, and they had a conversation about a whole host of things, ranging from Diddy to the election. Now, during the segment about the election that's coming up in November, right, between Biden and it looks like Trump, he was kind of like pressured by that of Sonny and Whoopi in regards to why doesn't he just flat out go on and endorse Joe?
Shabaka, do you see the outfit this fool got on?
Oh man, it's bad. Yeah.
Right there in the middle.
Yeah.
Whoopi in regards to why doesn't he just flat out go on and endorse Joe Biden? And this is what he said.
You endorsed Joe Biden back in 2020, but this time around you say you're not going to endorse anybody. Charlemagne, now is not the time, in my opinion, to sit this one out.
Yeah, I didn't say that. I never said I was sitting it out.
What you gonna do?
I'm definitely voting in November, but what I like to focus on is issues, not individuals. Like, you know, when
But
you
why
have...
not endorse?
Huh?
Why not endorse Biden?
Because if I'm sitting here telling my listeners that, you know, you have somebody out there who is a threat to democracy, you have somebody out there who said they want to, you know, suspend the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election. You saw this person, you know, try to lead an attempted coup of this country. And I'm telling people that this guy is a threat to democracy. Have you ever read Project 25? There's only 2 candidates out there. So if I'm saying that about this individual, the choice is clear, right?
So he says, you know, without saying, he listed the negative things about Trump. And so he says, well, if I'm saying, you know, basically the bad stuff about the other opponent, then, you know, you guys can pretty much guess from there. Of course, you heard Sonny says, well, why not just come out and endorse Biden? Now, later on in that particular segment, he says, because I think both candidates are trash, right? So, of course, they took exception to that. And then from that point, Whoopi also said, you know, basically you got to get out there and endorse Biden. And then later on in that clip, he said something against, you know, voting for Biden. And she says, I'm a whoop your behind. She's joking, right? But they're really pressuring him to go ahead and endorse Biden. Now, Charlemagne, who is very influential, let's just keep the buck. Now, he may not be to us, but he is to other people. He has endorsed the Biden-Kamala ticket before, and they duped him, for lack of better words. And he said that, you know, he at one point in time could reach him, but after a while he could not reach him, and they have not delivered on anything specifically for the Black community. And there's still a lot of things that haunts the Black community that Biden was complicit in doing, right? So he's been very open about that. Of course, we know that Joe Biden went on his show in 2020 when he was in campaigning and says, well, basically, if you don't vote for me, you ain't Black. And Charlemagne didn't really, you know, press down on that. Like, what do you mean? You know, so that's kind of been a running joke, if you will, that, hey, I guess I ain't Black because I didn't vote for Joe Biden. But look at how they are really trying to get the word out to, and y'all know who they're trying to get the word out to? They're trying to get the word out to Black people. And they're trying to use everybody they can think of to get
I'm
out
on
there,
the
get word
couch.
out. Joe, right? I'm not telling you to do that. In fact, I'm not voting for Joe. I don't know who I'm voting for, but I know I'm not voting for Joe. I don't know if I'm going to vote for Trump.
And I ain't wasting my time with it. I did it for 40 goddamn years. I'm tired.
Black Americans in our faces by lying when we was lying, right? But still, we watched him do everything for everybody else but the group of people that has got him in office. And there they are spending all those millions and millions of dollars trying to reach out to Black voters, trying to have this person talk to us, that person talk to us. Of course, you heard that Joe Biden showed up at Morehouse's graduation to deliver the commencement speech and all of that, right? So we're going to see them all over the place trying to get Black people to vote for more or nothing. But shame on Sonny and Whoopi sitting there continuously trying to get people to get us to vote for more of nothing. And if Whoopi and Sonny, if you see this, we ain't doing it.
Well,
we are not voting for more of
damn
nothing.
ghetto
Get
gagger.
somebody
What the fuck
else
is to be
to do it.
expected?
So anyway,
all ghetto.
and my channel to Dimitri.
I mean, what in the fuck is to be
just got better.
expected?
Hey, it's Dana from Street.
Nah, no disrespect. Fuck the goddamn commercial. Check out Frontline Black News. Now, no disrespect to that sister right there, but why would we sit up there as a people wasting our time with bullshit? Okay? See, this is what I'm tired of in my old age, ladies and gentlemen. All this, every 2 years, they come up to us with this prepackaged bullshit, and we stand there like a bunch of Uncle goddamn Tim's got yabba, Yeah, you bow, yalla bow. It's sickening, man. It's sickening. And I cannot, in the last few years that I got, okay, to sit up there and endorse that bullshit, man. I cannot fucking do it no more, people. I'm gonna tell you the real for a little time that I got left. I'm gonna tell you the lies and deceit and bullshit that they going through. Look what they did to Irritated Genie. You remember Irritated Genie?
I remember Irritated Genie.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? And Irritated Genie, you know what I'm saying? They pretty much, had marginalized the brother, but Irritated Genie was speaking the real because I've appeared on a few of his podcasts and he has recognized us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
Irritated.
Yeah, most definitely shout out to the Irritated Genie. Okay, is because Irritated Genie was telling it the real. Irritated Genie would do his podcast, and then these alphabetized motherfuckers would come up there and try to what do they call that? Crash his interviews, right? But I have to give it to Irritated Genie. He had his security right there, and he had assured them if that they do not get their stinking asses up out of there, that they will be smashed. Although he didn't say it like that, but his message was quite obvious. Irritated Genie goes up there before the city council in Washington, D.C., saying that I don't want my children being taught this alphabetized agenda bullshit in the goddamn public school system.
Right.
He did right because that man was protecting his children. You see what I mean? And they say black men don't love and protect their children.
Even though they said it was. Lady Che, what are your thoughts?
About what?
The Democrats, they're so desperate. They want Charlemagne to endorse Jim Crow Biden.
If Charlemagne can't get me to watch his stupid ass show, what's to say he gonna give me the fucking vote the way he want me to vote? He's dumb, like not like that, but he's dumb. He's not even entertaining. Right. He doesn't speak to me at all in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, but Lady Che, also too, they try to smear Charlemagne the God as well too. You see what I'm saying?
That's on him though. He does all that shit to himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
He does all that shit to himself. He first of all, he was saying that he supported Kamala and she's a black woman. Like that right there was an off-brand comment.
Right.
And that right there was the biggest red motherfucking flag of them all.
He said that was the only reason why he was vote for Biden.
Yeah, she's gonna make him awesome vice president or something like that.
Back in 2019.
And now he's like, I don't know. Like, no, you do know. But not like that. But what she said about Sonny and Whoopi over there pressuring them. Yeah, that's some real off-brand mark shit. Why don't they get out there and do it?
But that's Hollywood for you. You see, that's what I mean by that's Hollywood for you.
They try to get black voters to get behind.
If they weren't cooning all the time, they probably could have done a better job.
See, that's just it though, Lady Che. You are absolutely correct in what you said, and that's why a couple of years ago I went down there in Hollywood, on Hollywood, and Brother Che had told me, man, get the fuck away from TMZ. Get away from TMZ. You know what I'm saying? Because I went right up there to TMZ. I went right up there, to where they have the Academy Awards at. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so we're finally to the moment that we've long waited for, and that is my ass got arrested.
Oh yeah.
Shit has been found guilty of all 34 felony counts.
And the sad part about it is you got a cat like Sarge that still endorses this trick. I don't understand it.
It makes sense to me at all.
He's a diehard Trumpster.
He's
a convicted criminal now.
One motherfucking felony is going to prison for the rest of their motherfucking life. This just getting charged with like 31, 34 motherfucking felonies. And
34.
He's going to be the fucking president. You can't run, even if you don't go to jail. You can't you can't be the president. According to, not even according to our laws. Anything like a felony that has to do with money is a no-no.
And Sarge is going to try to tell me, and you all heard it, well, these motherfuckers made bookkeeping errors. Hey man, do you know how difficult it is to get a degree in accounting and bookkeeping? Do you know how difficult? I mean, I don't know what course is more difficult to study, accounting or law.
Any of that shit that's to do with money or defrauding something, campaign financing, any of that shit. You are not eligible to fucking run. It doesn't matter who the fuck it is.
And I agree with you, Lady J, because isn't the president supposed to be a person of high integrity?
Right, but that doesn't even matter for any office in our state, in our state alone, right? Like I could have. So let's say hypothetically, I'm not sure. Let's say hypothetically, I have 3 felonies for fucking whatever, right?
Yeah.
I run for political office. If any of those 3 felonies have anything to do with money laundering, racketeering, fucking fraud, money fraud, any kind of extortion, bribery, anything that has to do with finances and other people's shit, I'm not gonna be able to go into office. They're gonna tell me no immediately because not just because I have a felony, because now anybody can fucking run for whatever, right? But it's because those particular charges, you're in charge of making decisions or influencing decisions that have to do with taxes and people's fucking money, where the money goes to, what services go to, what they get funding for, what they don't get funding for. You're kind of like in the loop of it all. You know what I mean? At some level, you're involved in making a decision of what departments get money, what departments don't get money. You have a say in it. You know, that's just on the local low level. So for a president, ex-president, to have those kind of charges in our state, let's just say our state ain't shit. Our state only holds 11 electoral votes.
Yeah, 10 or 11.
Right. So if they really read the shit, our own state stuff, it'll say right there, anything that has to do with financial fraud is a major fucking disqualification from any position. So that's just not our state. We're like, let's just say Colorado ain't shit. But what about the other 48 states?
Okay, well, California has no integrity whatsoever. Look who the fuck they got as the governor. Look who the fuck they had as the attorney general, who's your current vice president. You see what I mean?
That has also integrity just to get through, because anybody could bring it up and make, like, there could be protests everywhere based on that specific fact alone. Because it's
Lady Che, you're right about that.
But we can't have when we're dealing with people not getting fucking, people are living in poverty currently.
No, abject poverty, Lady Che. When you got homeless encampments on a regular basis of going on to the 3rd generation now, that's abject poverty. Okay.
All these places are getting funding, right? They're getting funding in different countries for different wars. The fucking we got a migrant crisis getting funded in certain blue states and whatnot. There's all this money going in and out. And for the president to have any kind of charges, so anything like that, like conspiracies or whatever the fuck, what the fuck is he charged for anyway? Lying about hiding money, or lying about the money, or who knows what the fuck.
All of that,
right? Who knows what it was? I don't really care. But the thing is that that's a lot of charges. Fucking black people going to prison for 1 felony or less, you know, and been in there for decades. So him not even going to with the possibility of not going to prison and still being able to run the country for 4 fucking years, that's a real big thing, including when you throw in the fact of that Project 2025 shit.
Okay.
That's a serious. That's
my
opinion.
So make sure y'all check out the next RBA where Lady Che is going to outline what that is.
And as a matter of fact, as a matter of fact, on the next episode of Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced on Tuesday, type up the show, Brother Che, you know, if you're up to it, and talk about Project 2025. And I will probably be speaking to less, man, because I'm totally ignorant of what it is. So therefore, I'm going to learn something.
I read
And
it.
then,
900 pages. It's 900 pages, but let's just put it this way: he's already implemented 64% of it, and so when I covered it on the RBA, I just covered the content. My butthole pucker. Okay, I'm serious. I got scared like a motherfucker because any type of pretend liberties you thought you had, they don't really exist after it was against it. Because
okay, so basically what you're saying is, Lady
say Shabaka, about us being in internment camps and they gonna shut the motherfucking water off. That's pretty much the reality of it. If you put
okay,
it
Lady J, we've been saying that for years on Shabaka's.
This is more like an in-depth fucking written fucking statement of what the fuck they're gonna do. Everything that we put in place over the last fucking since before the fucking civil rights era, whatever. It just basically turned it around and it doesn't exist anymore. And now we're just in not a dictatorship. It's not like a dictatorship, but it's not. It's like very much so. Yeah, like straightforward, very
keep in mind,
shit, right?
And keep in mind, Lady Che, is that they could have that shit set up next year in 2025. And keep in mind is that this desert is very, very hot. Okay? All the way from here to the Pacific Ocean is nothing but desert. And they could gonna put all the motherfuckers out there in Death Valley where the temperature will exceed this time of year of 130 degrees.
Wait out. It's just ugly. It's just ugly, Shabaka. But I read it and just the contents, you know, like when you read a book, the contents of it, and then you start reading it. Man, I'm telling you, like, my heart hurts. And I got scared, immediately got scared because if you already implemented 64% of it, that means there's only 36% left to go.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Yeah, no, you're right. And so what's going to happen is, Lady Che, is that all of a sudden you're going to have the National Guard coming out. You're going to be having these police agencies coming out, taking all them cats out of county jails and prisons and relocating them out there to that Mojave Desert. And they're going to put them out there and they're going to turn off the water.
That's another reason why.
Now, here's how they're going to come at you with it. Oh, like what happened down in Atlanta. Oh, the water main broke.
That's what I'm saying, Shabaka. Like all that shit we've been talking about for the last 3 years, about doing our own thing.
Or take them up there to Vail, Colorado in the winter. Well, guess what? All the snow, all the roads are blocked to get up there.
Talk about wanting it, man.
All the water is frozen up there, you know, high above the Mile High income city.
It's all gonna be poisoned because they can do it. We got forever chemicals already poisoned in it. They'll pass whatever to get whatever passed. There's areas in our city that have been polluted for motherfucking decades. But all of a sudden they can build on them.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
All of a sudden they can build on them. Sites. Right? But then these motherfucking areas were so motherfucking polluted, like there's no fucking way. Nothing would grow there. It's a fucking
they were nuclear sites.
Frozen. The fucking water is polluted. The people are
you're talking about Globeville.
Yeah, goddamn right. I'm talking about that area. That's just one area, right? That's just one area. You see what I'm saying? So, not to mention what we have all look how many
the lead in the pipes.
Just look how many.
Oh yeah, like Flint, Michigan. Oh, and by the way, coming across my desk here in Las Vegas, we're getting ready to have the bird flu outbreak, right?
Already.
Yeah, more vaccines, more microchips.
It happened in that area when dumped all the coal and shit out.
Oh, you talking about East Palestine?
In here, cuz.
Oh.
In Denver. Yes. Man, we got derailments, we got power, the power.
Oh, you talking about the A-line?
It was an actual motherfucking train.
Like
Union
Pacific train?
Yes, there's only one, Jesse. Yes.
And here
in fucking old girl, they used to be on city council, the Hispanic lady that didn't like me all of a sudden want to say hi to me. The one that is no longer there.
Oh, Candy.
No, the older lady. the older city council lady.
Oh, Debbie Ortega.
Yeah, she was talking about it very before they switched up administrations. It happened in her area.
Yeah, she's on the north side.
Yeah, it's the real shit's like I've been paying attention to a lot of different things. It's stupid overwhelming. So like it's kind of a helpless feeling because you don't know how to help, where to help, or with whom to help because everybody's on their own fucking wishy-washy pretend agenda. So we could have all the intent we want for our people, but all these motherfuckers are just whispering in ears and say sweet nothing to turn around talking about you behind your back and fucking shit up. So they keep us in a condition of fucking rooted lifestyle. It's all because of money. It's a business. And they're it's a business. They're comfortable with that proximity to whiteness and sucking up
and the lifestyle that comes with that.
Yeah, not just what lifestyle though. Some of them aren't even making any real money. They're just doing it. Some of these positions, like the House representative seat, makes $30,000 less than the city council seat.
Yeah, that's because they keep voting and getting themselves raises every couple of years.
But even so, you've watched it. They're not getting that. Certain things don't get passed at the House level like you think it would. Whereas the city council just getting yes. Yeah. But when you go to the House,
let's figure by
it's whatever, right?
Yeah.
I can go on all day about this shit. I'm sorry, family. It's like what you bug asked that question. I was on it.
Okay, so we got to get to the dump. So former President Donald Trump found guilty of all 34 counts.
Crazy, man.
Do you feel
great news.
About he was still gonna be president, and I'm like, president from where? He can't go.
Shop the latest gadgets, trendy fashion, and unique collectibles. iShop.Blacc showcases products of verified sellers. Launch your business online today.
And why would they let him?
With fast and easy setup, free video training, and free technical support.
Can't be trusted with
Alone we may go faster, but together we go farther.
that's a vibe.
IB Israel. Join us at iShop.Blacc to start your free trial today. Contact us at info@ishop.blacc. www.ishop.blacc.
What you trying to lie about? But he can't be trusted. So why would we put him in there?
Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
At African Diaspora News Channel, we cover stories that don't receive mainstream attention, and we
give people opportunity to say something, right?
Yes, sir. I'm still
We
here.
like to advertise before our streams, like you see people like iShop.Blacc and things like that, right? So just want to make sure we offer that to anybody that would be interested in that.
But
we do appreciate anyone that wants to advertise their products, services, anything like that here.
Yes.
Is greatly appreciated because we don't get the big
Yeah.
sponsors. We get just
Take it to
definitely people in the community. We appreciate every last one of them that have done so.
He's fucked.
Aside from that, so we're gonna do this stream a little different tonight. I'm gonna give my take on it as usual as I would do, and I'm gonna give an opportunity to give your opinion.
I go to
If you would like to come up and have an opinion. Now I don't know what it is sometime on my platform because I've done that even with Twitter Space or X Space, and people don't want to say nothing. And I'm like, I say, well, it's rare if I try to give people opportunity to say something, right? Don't be scared. I'm not going to bite your head off. I don't think I ask if you do come up, stay on topic. Don't divert because the audience is here to hear the topic and not here to hear 1,000 things or questioning me about things outside of the topic. We need to stay on topic, on task. But if you're interested in that, let participate.
I am asking for every pro-Trump patriot watching this video to click the link below.
I'm glad that
Asian class.
you don't have to fart.
Oh my God. He stuck that shit up.
Well, okay. Well, no, this is a when it comes to that, we always gonna do it. Okay, there you go. I didn't heard enough. All right, we got it.
I'm just telling you. I'm gonna let you talk. Who you talking to? You gonna let? The voters let me. I got voted in. Who you talking to? You gonna let me? I got seconds left. I want you to know. Ain't she crazy? How many seconds? Why you? I'm counting your time. Miss Galloway, I'm gonna rule you out order. You keep talking so much.
Do I have the floor? Do I?
No.
Yes, you do. Thank you very much.
What a fool.
We have got to help the city of Flint. We have got to move the city forward. We have got to vote yes on this. Thank you.
Ms. Herkenroder, you the reason that I'm gonna vote the way I'm gonna vote, because you tried to put words in my mouth like I said you was a racist. You got to stop doing that. You got to stop doing that.
Ms. Fields,
Please be very careful in that area. Please.
all
Be
I
very
said,
careful.
there was mediation and
You
there were
told
people in rooms.
details
That's
of who
not
in what
confidential.
room and how many.
But I am
and what.
going to finish saying this.
Well, go ahead.
That's fine.
Do you? It shouldn't be fine. We got folks sitting in business, and I wouldn't care if you was the chair, the sofa, the TV. Point of information, Madam Chair.
What's your point?
Are you gonna sit and allow this man to talk all that tough talk, talking about what he ain't scared, won't, and you sit there and condone it? May I be?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the great Eric Mays. Okay, so today, as you know, if you have not, paid attention, and maybe living underneath the rock, if you don't know, today they brought down a verdict in Donald Trump's hush money trial. Now we know ever since, the raid on Mar-a-Lago, we know that all these cases came on Trump all at one time, actually after he announced that he was going to be running for president for this country once again.
Yeah, that's everything.
Anybody
wouldn't give us a venue change. We were.
So this
Trump,
is Dump was saying.
Because I'm home in on something that we've been talking about forever, but I'm gonna go ahead on and play the video if you have not seen it of Trump when he got out, other courtroom. I want you to hear exactly what he said. And I'm gonna bring back my point. So let me cue Trump up here. Where's his video? Right here.
This was a disgrace. This was.
He's funny.
It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. Give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. They know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA. And the whole thing, we didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end, and we'll win. Because our country's gone to hell.
And they need to book your motherfucking ass, man, to the goddamn jail. Fuck you, Donald Trump.
Serious decline. Millions and millions of people pouring into our country right
go
now.
Get your jumpsuit on, man. Go do your time. Send this trick to Alcatraz, where he'll be out there all by himself with the seagulls and shit on him on that rotten
big decision right from day one. With a conflicted judge who should never try this case, never.
Ship his ass
We will
out.
fight for our Constitution.
And let him stay up there in that abandonment and tell him that he's got to take Alcatraz Island as is.
Now, Trump was given a lot of special treatment. Like, he had a gag order. He violated like about 10 different times. Now, good and well, if me and you had a gag order and we violated one time, they'll throw our behinds in jail.
Thinking about it, Quinn.
They would. And I saw y'all mentioning Boule Martin. I'll talk about that in a minute because it's not just him. But let me tell you the good thing about this case. So I was on X. I wanted to see what the reactions are going to be from people. And the reactions was, this case should have never been brought up. This case it's just overcharging. And what kind of criminal justice system is this? And I start looking back and I say, oh, okay. Now, I'm talking about to the folks. Now you see how black people feel.
Well, it's not benefiting the folks no more. Now it's a problem.
We get overcharged.
We've been saying this for decades.
Judges sit up there,
centuries,
and don't let us defend ourselves in the way we should, right? Just like Trump was complaining about.
Like we don't know.
We get overcharged. We in kangaroo courts too. A lot of black Americans are in kangaroo courts. And this has been happening for a long time.
Goddamn court I've been to was a goddamn kangaroo court.
What we've been talking about. You know what I've been noticing in 2024? The folks are starting to really see what we've been talking about for a long time about the justice system, about the corporations, about the jobs, about degrees, about the economy. Oh, they really starting to see now. It's amazing in 1 year how they really starting to see how their whole system works. See, that system was cool when it was us, but when it's your man and it happens to him, and on a global level at this point, we told you how politicians were dirty. We told you how politicians were just locking people up and playing partisan politics. Oh, I'm gonna lock up all those black, this one, they don't say black, they'll say gang members, they'll say this and that, but they just mean black, right?
Right.
Running on campaigns to target black people, to put us in prison. Police planting evidence on black people. Now, they didn't do that to him, but you know what I'm saying? We've been complaining about this system forever. Yeah. Now, do I believe he's gonna go to jail? No. I'll be shocked if they pull that stuff. That would be a shocker to me, right?
All right. That's why I say send the motherfucker to Alcatraz out there by himself.
Now y'all on X talking about RIP America. Talking about 1776 to 2024 because of what happened to Trump. You say America is gone. It's not the same no more. It's the same America. That's how black people been going through it. At least they not sitting up here jailing him right when he get out. They didn't ruin him financially. They didn't really ruin his reputation or anything.
Right.
You didn't get your way one time. And I'm not saying I support what happened to him. You didn't get your way one time. Once. And look how you acted. You say the country now is third world and all of that. I can agree in some instances how Biden and them are moving, but it goes back to you. You set up the environment for this to happen.
Yeah.
So blame yourself. See, as long as it was happening to black people, you were cool. You didn't care about mass incarceration. You didn't care about lawfare. You didn't care about none of that mess when it was happening to us. Now it's happening to your man. And now, oh my God, we got to do something about this. That's my issue.
It's called hypocrisy.
Even though I see the play, I see what they're doing, but it goes back to you. Maybe if when Black America told you about lawfare against us and you stood with Black America and done something about it, they wouldn't do this to Trump right now.
Right.
Maybe if you wouldn't allow the courts to be kangaroo courts and you were getting on juries assisting the kangaroo courts against Black Americans, maybe that wouldn't happen to Trump right now. You understand?
That is my just.
Black America been telling y'all for a long time about how wicked this system moves. And it took Biden and the Democrats to actually show y'all.
The Democrats.
I told y'all a long time ago, folks, they perfect systems of oppression on us, and then they roll it out to you.
Yep.
You're not going to be immune from oppression. You're not going to be immune from job loss. You're not going to be immune from inflation. You're not going to, your skin color, I'm warning you, your skin color is not going to save you what's coming down the pipe. Only the strong will survive. And your skin color won't do it. Your privilege won't save you.
No, white privilege.
I'm not talking about the election over, none of that. I'm just focusing on that.
So with therapy, it sounds like it's helped you.
Fuck the commercial.
Would you be the person that you are today without therapy?
Fuck the commercial in its ass.
Certainly not.
That one point. We told y'all about immigration. for a long time too.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't want to listen to that because they were dumping them in our community. But now they start putting them in y'all's. You got a problem with it.
The hypocrisy
Y'all have
is
an
real,
attitude
Uncle
that you don't
Phil.
care about nobody else but yourself. The whole world can go to hell in a handbasket. You can care less. Look at your man Biden right now. I'm watching all that stuff going on in Palestine. Like Biden is up here assisting in literally a genocide of people. Now, in my mind, when it comes to Biden, if he has no problem with that happening to them people, shoot, what he gonna do to black folk? But we all know Biden been a long time racist anyway. That's why I understand my people. Right?
Right. Okay, he's talking
now. Patty Brown says, "What's?"
He's just reading comments now. So what are your thoughts, Shabaka, on the dump as a human shit? Being found guilty of all 34 counts of felony fraud. Do you think he will continue the campaign, or is the election over? We lose Shabaka?
Did we lose Shabaka?
Oh, he went on mute. Okay, go ahead, Lisa.
I don't really. I mean, legitimately, I don't. Okay, there you go. Go ahead, Shabaka.
Go ahead, Shabaka. You were on mute.
Everything that Mr. Phil said right there is absolutely correct. Okay, it's because, like I said, I've witnessed here over the last 50 goddamn years of how this shit was on a downward spiral anyway. All what this man is talking about right here, folks, is that I foresaw 4 years ago. Okay, now, when the dump got selected, that there was like the coup de grace, that there was a final nail in the coffin. Okay, the dump, as in human shit, he's a fucking idiot. Just like I told Sarge, okay, on a special edition. Sarge is sitting up there, he couldn't handle it, you know what I'm saying? And you saw him go off, you know what I mean? And the fact of the matter is, black family, is that what we as the people have got to do is that we have got to build up our infrastructures to protect ourselves, is because these white folks is coming. These dumpsters are coming. They come in full swing. They're diabolical. They're filthy. They have no moral convictions whatsoever. They're coming out there to exterminate us. And I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts after I do more research, Lady Chair, on what you're talking about, Project 25, is they're going to start bringing these motherfuckers here off of Interstate 15, taking them out there to Death Valley and leaving them there. Do you know how hot it gets in Death Valley this time of year, y'all?
120.
Try 130.
No, it ain't never hit 130.
Oh, yes, sir. The record of the heat of Death Valley is 137 degrees.
137? Where are you reading that, man?
Okay, you know, for research that I've done over the years, Brother Che, you know, you could Google it. Okay, hold on. Let me go up here, man. You know, pull some up here. I'm putting it in a search bar now. Record heat for Death Valley.
Okay,
hold on. Death Valley, California. Okay. All right. Record high temperature for Death Valley, California. Death Valley, California. Okay. All right. Let's see here. On July 19, 2009, it was 128 degrees. On July 10, 2008, it was 127 degrees. On July 7th, 2007.
It's 134 degrees.
Yeah.
On July 10th,
1913. Yes, sir. Okay. July 10th, 1913, Death Valley says world record temperature. Okay. And it was 113 degrees. And looking at this photograph right here, you see cracked mud stretches across sections of the Panamint Valley. Temperatures are about to soar in Southern California on a significant date in the history of extreme weather. It was 107 years ago Friday that the sweltering desert location at Furnace Creek, get it? Furnace Creek in
Furnace.
Death Valley said a world record for highest air temperature at 134 degrees.
Yeah, so that's 2 degrees less than what the world highest recorded temperature is. And that's
Yeah, I would imagine that there would be somewhere in the Sahara Desert.
Yep, Libya, 136.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And Libya is nothing but landlocked in the Sahara Desert, as it is correctly pronounced. Yes,
Yeah.
now.
And it wasn't always a desert either.
Yes, sir. And the thing is that poor guys like Sarge, who are stuck on loving a guy who does not love him. I have nothing but sympathy for Sarge. Okay, Sarge says that I always cut him out. Okay. Sarge is sitting up there and toward the end of the show, if you all had heard, that Sarge was crumb bumming on African people. And I was trying to tell Sarge off the research that I have done, when one nation fought against the other, they were incorporated into the winning nation. This is how King Shaka built the Zulu Empire. I also tried to inform Sarge is that these Greeks and these barbarians like Alexander, these were savages. They were filth. You see what I'm saying? I mean, look, man, we embalming our dead, man, 3,500 years ago. We're bringing a concept of medicine, of trigonometry, mathematics at the University of San Corey, and you're going to sit up there and tell me that some group of people who enjoy getting fucked in their asses are up there superior to us?
According to that gay manifesto.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And no disrespect to the ladies, like I told Sarge, is that black pussy is black power.
Yep, that's all right.
Okay. And I'm not being vulgar or disrespectful to our listeners out there. I'm just simply making
usual. There's two different dates or two different records. So Death Valley got the U.S. record.
Okay.
But El Zazia, I think that's how you pronounce it.
How's it spelled? Okay, Libya. So basically the nation of Libya.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which is nothing but the Sahara Desert. All of North Africa is the Sahara Desert. And that's where His Majesty Mansa Musa had ruled his empire. You see what I mean?
On the western flank.
But Sarge, he doesn't want to recognize that because for some odd reason, this man figures that he's got to go to Eurocentric sources to validate his reasoning. I mean, why am I going to go to a culture that all it does is fuck each other in the ass, okay, perverse and filth, okay, and I'm supposed to look at these individuals superior to us? No, man, I'm not that kind of a fool. Right. You know what I'm saying? Not at 65 years old, I'm not that kind of a fool. You see, so what we have right here is that these coon-ass, black-ass politicians, okay, they refuse to advance intellectually, okay? They're being bought, they're being paid for, just like what Uncle Phil was saying right here. I tried to tell Sarge, look at Michael Cohen, who went up there, walked the concrete, man, for damn near 4 years to protect the dump as in human shit. And what does the dump do? He turns on the dude, man. He throws him under the bus. You know what I'm saying? Michael Cohen. Okay? But Dumbo, Jefferson Beauregard session with them ears looking like Dumbo out the Walt Disney movie. Beauregard, yeah, you know, he got the fuck up out of there real quick. Now I see why. Now we see why. You see, and ain't no motherfucker gonna sit up here and tell me that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Right.
Now, I'm not perfect, okay, but I do know what the fuck I'm talking about. Now, you may not like this truth, but I'm not gonna relent it.
Right.
But this is why we always open up our platform, you know what I'm saying? You know, to hear what other people got to say. They run from us because they cannot stand the heat of this truth. Now, when you motherfuckers go out there and slander my name, please be sure to spell the name right. Shabaka. S as in Sam, H as in health, A as in Adam, B as in black, A as in Adam, K as in king, A as in cat. That is how the first name is spelled. The last name, Sankory. S as in Sam, A as in Adam, N as in Nixon, K as in king, O as in ocean, R as in royalty, and E as in enter or entry. Okay, now, Sarge is going to sit up there and try to tell me, well, these Greeks, these guys, you guys heard the replay. You know what I'm saying? Sarge gets upset, and I had to tell Sarge, hey, man, just relax, Sarge. You about to blow a gasket, homie. It ain't that serious. Just say that you're fucking wrong. Just say that the dump, as in human shit, has bumped your head, took your pocket. Like LBJ said, is that you get these ignorant ass motherfucking white folks to believe that they better than a nigga. You will pick his pocket for the next 50 goddamn years. And that son of a bitch said that 60 years ago. Now, you tell me.
Yep, Lyndon Baines, racist ass Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Lady Che, what are your thoughts on the dump being a convicted felon now?
Like I said, like I've been saying, I don't see how he can do anything. I mean, they
You got
you
some.
can't. I don't understand how you could.
Are you on the headset, Shabaka?
I think
Yes, sir.
Like the only thing now is watch and see.
You got
Like
a
I
little
don't
bit
even
of
think he
feedback.
can debate. He can't do
Okay,
shit.
I think I know what it is. I got this air conditioning on in here. Hold on, let me go turn it off. I think that's what you hear. Yeah.
That like, first of all, it doesn't matter about it. Like this is a 4-year waste of time. Right now, we should just go ahead and all the states do what they got to do. Take him off the motherfucking ballot. It's a wrap. Why? Because he's a fucking convicted felon, not just one felony, not even two. A grip, okay? A grip of felonies. Well, this is just one case. That's just one case.
Yep.
Right?
He's
He's not done yet.
Georgia.
So, you know.
Okay, did the feedback go away?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
okay, yeah, it was the air conditioner. Okay.
You had to pay that white broad like twice already. You know, so,
Stormy Daniels?
No, the other one, the toothpick looking one. I mean, and the Fannie Willis case, you know, she already got disqualified, right? She's been disqualified, but that doesn't mean the case is over, right?
Wait a minute, they disqualified Fannie Willis in Atlanta?
I believe
so.
They're either moving toward it or they already did.
Yeah, they definitely been discussing it. But you know, you understand what I'm saying? That's just another guilty charge or whatever. By the end of it, before November, they're just gonna keep tacking on these charges. So at this point, it's not even worth him. He can't be the president. He just can't. Not specifically with
Lady Che, the dump as in human shit, okay, if his raggedy ass could still get up and take a piss, all right, is going to be the next president.
Yeah, but yeah, you probably will.
And keep in mind, Lady Che, I'm praying to God that I'm wrong.
You're right.
I'm praying to God that I'm wrong, okay, but my street sense is telling me, and my intelligence is telling me.
Their own constitutional fucking whatever the fuck. They can't do it. They shouldn't be able to do it. Like,
okay, Lady Che, like I tried to tell Sarge,
not only that, but
when the government goes whack.
No, I know, but it's only 4 years. Everybody acts like he's gonna get another 8-year term. No, it's 4 years. And after 4 years, if they don't like his motherfucking vice president, he can kick rocks too.
Yeah.
So it's pointless.
Oh, that feedback is back, Shabbat.
It's pointless.
Feedback is back?
No matter what he does,
Yeah.
it's pointless.
Okay, hold on a second.
We might as well start looking elsewhere. Next runner-up or something like that.
Okay, what about now?
Okay, I think it's gone.
Yes,
okay.
I don't foresee it happening. It doesn't matter what Sarge says. They might, if they do it, that would be a fucking, oh my God. Do you know how much fucking shit the people will give them?
Mm-hmm.
They don't let anybody, for us to get one fucking felony, we're going to prison.
Yeah.
34 fucking felonies?
Yeah.
And he's walking around out there, it's a fraud, it's a sham. You sat through that whole trial, motherfucker even fell asleep. How the fuck is it a sham and how the fuck is it fixed? You know what I mean?
He fell asleep and was stinking up the court.
You know, it's not. It's just that Trump has been a poor sport.
Yep.
Regardless, he was a poor sport then. He's a poor sport now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And granted, nobody likes to lose, but let's not drop hot boy statements and blame it on the fucking Democrats or whatever.
Yeah.
No, you fucking lost.
Yep.
You're found guilty. Simple as that. I don't want to blame all my fucking failures on shit, but that's not the way it works. I would be like, hey man, they should have gave me that fucking felony. It doesn't matter what the fuck I did, even though I know, I didn't do it knowing I goddamn well did it. Come on now, man, they don't even believe that shit. Ignorance is no fucking determination. You know what you did. Everybody knows what you did. You're guilty. But the fact is that if every state goes along with the fucking program and they vote them in and they allow them to come in, it doesn't fucking matter. You can't run it. You're not able to run to be the president from house arrest. A. B. How could you trust him after all the motherfucking documents they had in his bathroom?
Yeah.
He lied about.
That's what I tried to tell Sarge. I said, Sarge, this motherfucker's got highly classified documents stacked loosely in a fucking piss house.
But they were he could have did anything with those documents. He could have sold it to anybody. Or he didn't have to. He could have just threw it out there as fear mongering. It doesn't even fucking matter. He had him and he lied about it. They didn't want to give him up.
Okay, well, see, Lady Che, you're right. Like I've always said, ever since the days of old Tricky Dick. Okay, Tricky used to say, it's not illegal if the president does it.
Right.
It's not illegal if the president does it. And this is supposed to be a motherfucker who is supposed to be of the highest integrity. Now, let's look what they did to Bill Clinton. Now, Bill Clinton wouldn't have an extramarital affair, and they're going to impeach Slick Willie.
During his presidency. But we're talking about there's so many negatives that everybody wants to fucking ignore that it's beside it's stupid. The fact that they even let him get this far ahead with all the negativity and with let's not vote for him, we gotta go buy whatever. But no, man, just the fact that he had the files in his bathroom is off top. How can you trust him with any of our new secrets, allegedly or non-new secrets? Right. Right. That's one. Two, you're in trouble for fraud, fucking whatever the fuck. And just because you don't want to, just because anybody said anything about this fucking January 6th shit, it's gonna come out. Regardless, he's fucked. Yeah. He should not be able to. Whether he can or can't be, that's debatable because it has to go to courts, right? The courts have to decide, right?
Yeah,
like the Supreme and the states and all that shit.
Yeah, well, they said the Supreme Court might overturn it.
Just the fact
this is just like what I was telling Sarge. There's the U.S. Supreme Court decides the cases it's going to pick up, right? Now, the dump, as in human shit, and we want to make this perfectly clear, is going to take this shit to the U.S. Supreme Court, and what they're going to do is overturn the convictions. You see what I'm saying? And you could best believe, and I'm hope that I'm wrong. I hope.
Processes. He should not get away with going through the process that every other motherfucking criminal got to go through.
Right.
He's a regular fucking man. Just because he was arrested at one point doesn't mean dick. At this point, he's just a regular motherfucker with Secret Service fucking privileges.
And this is why I told Sarge, Lady Che, when Sarge said, well, Secret Service, blah, blah, blah. Send the motherfucker to Alcatraz Island in the current dilapidated, raggedy-ass condition that is in. Throw his ass off of one of them cells or leave him on the whole fucking island, and he could have the whole Secret Service out there to guard his stinking ass. You know what I'm saying?
They tell you why they can't do it, why that's just ridiculous. Each of those Secret Service members are actual people, okay? They're just Secret Service when they go to work. They're actual fucking people. That's like asking them to go to prison too when they didn't do shit.
Except, but that's just it though, Lady Che, is that they could send a helicopter out there, you know, from Silicon Game Valley, send a boat and have them change and rotate shifts.
No, he lost that privilege. Once he gets into prison, he is a fucking regular fucking PC inmate. He lost the fucking Secret Service, and maybe they'll meet him when he gets out. Okay, but not then. They're regular people. That's like asking them to go to prison for free when they didn't commit any fucking charges. They don't have to guard no fucking penitentiary. They can't do shit for them in there.
Well, Lady Che, well, hold on, Lady Che. Now your reasoning is impeccable because, as you could say, they will PC the motherfucker. Number one, okay. So he'll be an inmate, okay, and he'll be PC'd up, but he's gonna have all his privileges. He might have Stormy Daniels coming in, give him conjugal visits or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know, and why he paid some raggedy ass broad looking like that $250,000 is beyond me. But the man is sick, okay. He's fucked up in the head. He's been rich his whole life. A motherfucker like Donald Trump, if he had to go through the fuck that we went through, being homeless and all this old type of shit, okay, and I'm like about 3 months from being homeless my goddamn self again, you see what I'm saying?
None of that.
He wouldn't know what to do.
Country in the hands of a motherfucker committed who had 34 motherfucking fraudulent felony charges? Because really, honestly, let's ask yourself that. Would you trust your life with this president who, you know, fuck how happy he makes everybody feel? All right, fuck all that. He has all these charges for fraud and all kind of other shit. You know what I mean? Would you trust him, given the first term and what you know now and everything he's trying to implement? Would you trust him to run the country this next 4 years?
No.
Hell to no.
There's your fucking answer, people. That's just looking outside the box. Like, ask yourself that question, like, for real, because we have a problem in every state trusting a motherfucker that wants to reform their life. Okay? He ain't said nothing about feeling guilty or remorseful about shit. That motherfucker said, this is a trick, this is a lie, this is a scam, they made it up, they fucking played, there's a game, they want me to stop running for office, whoopty wham. He's a fucking poor sport. So at this point in time, he can't be trusted because like that's just like doesn't matter what they say. I wouldn't trust him to do.
Well, Lady Che.
World.
Okay, Lady Che. Just like what the dump said about Hey, twin. Okay, but just like what the dump said about 12 years before he ran for the president, is that if he was to run for the presidency, he would run as a Republican because them is the most dumbest, stupid, and most ignorant motherfuckers that he could be.
Back in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, he said that about 1990, somewhere around 1990. I think Clinton was the president at the time that he said that. Okay, now, the dude, you know, has got a hotel sitting right here in Las Vegas. The sumbitch is totally empty. You see what I'm saying? It's empty.
They're booing him in New York. They don't even want him there.
Okay, and then what they need to do with this structure he has here in Las Vegas, they need to have the wrecking ball start bouncing off that motherfucker, say, tomorrow. But they
the homeless shit. You know what I mean? They can do something with it. I mean, there's plenty of homeless people in fucking Las Vegas.
okay, whoa, hold on, Lady Che. You got a point right there. Yeah, you really do have a point right there. So yeah, so what they need to do is to put the homeless up there in the dump towers out here. Yeah, and I think in that hotel, I'm going to just give a rough estimate that you could house 1,000 people in there for about 2 weeks for them to get their life straight. You see what I'm saying? To line them up on resources, to get up out that situation, to get them some type of benefits. You see what I'm saying? Hell, I might be winding up wanting to move in that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Okay, because my shit's raggedy. My shit's real raggedy.
Great nose. I gave my thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, like just the housing alone. I mean, if anything, sees this motherfucking ass, punish him that way. But there's so many things that are just wrong with this whole picture, and the fact that it's a selection, and that's who they predestined. I wonder.
Okay, but Lady Che, I think Jay Dizzle had stated it precisely when he used the analogy of Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you remember what had happened was, you know, when they went and pulled the heist, that all the thugs, man, that did the heist, they start buying cars, they start buying their women mink coats and all this shit right here. And Robert De Niro got nervous. So what did he start doing? They started having a whole lot of these motherfuckers coming up missing. You see what I'm saying? You know, to protect himself. You see, the thing is, you got to understand, Donald Duck is a gangster, straight out.
It's entertaining and all, but realistically.
No, but hold on, old Lady Che. That movie Goodfellas was based on a true story.
Yeah, no, I get that part. But I get that part. And hey, man, I love the bad guy. I love to see the bad guy fucking get to a certain point. But my thing is this: it's like everybody's been talking seriously about, you know, him being president, and you know, even our new black media correspondents talked about this shit too a little bit. I just feel like now that the guilty verdict is down, you really can't take it back. They can't run that track back. We was just kidding.
That background noise is back, Shabaka.
You know what I mean?
The background noise is back.
It sounded like you're sitting in front of the AC or something.
Like you're outside or in front of AC.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. All right, hold on. Let me mute myself. Okay.
I feel like it's stupid to have these conversations at this point because, like, he can't. There's no fucking way, and you'd have to go into all the states and really read the state fucking procedures because fraud you can't run the fucking presidency. It's not like they won't let you work in a fucking day. Fraudulent charges.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right, okay. I'm gonna move us to the next topic.
Yeah, I mean,
this is gonna be my last topic because I got to lay it down. These meds are starting to kick in on me.
Shabaka, we're going to find out in the next few weeks what they decide to do because they're going to start making moves.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to know, you know?
Yeah.
So before Shabaka passes out on us, the next topic is the same white supremacists that hated Malcolm X, Malik Spaz, now celebrate him with a Hall of Fame statue.
Really?
Symbolism.
Now that's news to me.
Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to
it has not been free for black
justice by
community.
Hall of Fame. He is the 27th member to be inducted there. Now, it is said that he was inducted due to his dedication to truth. Now, of course, we know that Malcolm just celebrated a 99th birthday on May 19th, but we also know that he was murdered on February 21st, 1965, and the FBI has said they had a hand in that. Now, we also know that Malcolm X.
That's the speech I was at, that one right there.
And he came to prominence after he joined the Nation of Islam, and he went all around the country and
I was
the
too.
world speaking up for the rights
That
of
speech
Black
there he's giving
people
is in
in
Los Angeles.
America. And so
Because I distinctively remember the window and it was hot that day.
one, right? They being white supremacy. He did not like Malcolm X trying to wake up Black people and trying to introduce new thoughts into Black people, trying to teach Black people that we are not what we have been taught to be, right? He asked us who taught us to hate our hair, basically who taught us to hate ourselves. Now we know that he got those teachings from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So again, he and the nation and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was not well liked by white supremacy. So here it is in 2024. They're saying, oh, we just love Malcolm. Of course, we know we can see his face on T-shirts and cups and just everywhere, especially during Black History Month and all those things. So again, Nebraska says, okay, well, since he was born here, because he was born in Omaha, it's about time that we honor him. Well, my thing is this. Why don't you guys honor him by doing what he was asking? And he also was asking America to right the wrong of the original sin of slavery. He was also asking for us to be paid for what our ancestors went through. So the statues are cool and it's nice and all of that. It's appreciative. But what's more so appreciative is you actually honor what these people that you're giving medals and statues to actually wanted. They wanted freedom, justice, and equality for their people. And still in 2024, Black people do not have justice and equality nor freedom, even though they run around talking about, oh, democracy is in danger. We know that Black people have never benefited from democracy. And in fact, Malcolm also told us to stop believing the words that come out from these, Negro leaders from the White House telling us, oh, go ahead and vote for them. They're okay. So again, let's not just honor Malcolm because he's gone, right? And usually they honor our dead real leaders when they're gone because they're no longer a threat. Which is why I also have a problem when people celebrate Malcolm on his birthday. I always ask, are you just talking Malcolm or are you walking Malcolm? See, to honor somebody is to actually do what they were asking us to do. And all these years later, we are still struggling with that. So anyway, y'all tell me what you think of that. And for more insightful commentary, please subscribe to this channel and my channel.
Subscribe to Frontline Black News. Hell, I lived in Malcolm's era. I saw him speak. Subscribe to Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. Yeah, I'll tell you about it.
That's right, Shabaka. That's right, Shabaka. All right, Shabaka, what are your thoughts on the saying white supremacists that hated Malcolm X?
Okay, well, what it is that Hoover with a counterintelligence program, okay, had pitted one faction within a certain organization against another, okay, planting evidence, smear campaigns, just like what they did with the tapes of Dr. King with other women. You see what I'm saying? They tried to get some shit like that on Malcolm, but Malcolm, he didn't commit adultery on Betty as far as we know. I'm not saying that they did not have their domestic problems and what have you, because all married couples go through it and it should stay between them. Also, too, Malcolm X was an inspiration to the heavyweight boxing champion at that time of 1964. Okay, I'm not going to mention his name. We all know who he was. Also, too, Malcolm did inspire a 24-year-old man in Oakland, California, by the name of Dr. Huey Percy Newton and Bobby Seale to form the Black Panther Party. Also, too, we do know, as you know, living through this history myself, is that the Black Liberation Army was a splinter group from the Black Panther Party. Then, of course, we do know about Tupac Shakur's mother, Afeni, We also know about Tupac Shakur's aunt, Asada, is because Tupac was raised by her brother, Matulu, who was not his biological father, but he had adopted him. And thus, in turn, that's how he's got the Shakur name. Now, another thing is that you have to understand is that what the X-Man was saying, and as the Queen Mother has stated, is that we have to take our liberation seriously. You see what I mean? Okay, what it is we got to turn our back on Roly-Poly Martins, Barack Obamas, Uncle Tim Scott's, and we have to let it be known that these sorry-ass, sellout, congressional, black Caucasoid motherfuckers do not represent us, okay? Because as we had wrote up in the description of what we did for our regular show of Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, these damn coons know what they're doing. They refuse to come out of their coon suits. They refuse to quit tap dancing. Uncle Tim Scott, oh, yo, Bob, I just love you, Bob, like Malcolm said, you had the house Negro and you had the field Negro. So the field Negro would say, well, let's escape, let's run away. Then you would have guys like Sarge, well, man, you must be crazy. What's better than what we got right here?
Yep,
that's the sad part. Now, I understand and respect that the generations after me are talking about the Moors, the Hebrew Israelites, and what have you. Okay, that there is for your generation, Brother Paris, to take it on to the next phase after my transition. And to quote the words of an Asian man who was born in San Francisco, who grew up in Hong Kong, who said that in any given situation, take what is useful and leave what is useless. Okay, and then we just got an alert here on my laptop. We got a heat watch out here in the desert. It's just issued, and Joe Gibson, now is the perfect time for you to come out here to Las Vegas. We sit down, we talk. Okay, and you got to leave your sunscreen at home, Joe Gibson, because right now we're getting ready to get the perfect heat for us, or I should say for us here at Shabaka's Black Experience, Frontline Black News, to support our premise. But you must leave us a note of first aid that must be rendered to you when your skin feels like that of a snake. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to leave you out there in that heat, but your ass will leave me out there in that fucking cold. I know that. You know what I'm saying?
I just walked up.
And then, so with the dump as the human shit, you know, him and his bullshit, you know, you got RWS, to quote Brother Paris, okay? I mean, this is their God. This is their king. You know, all these sycophants that Trump got. You see what I'm saying? We got to keep our heads on a swivel. We got to start coming up with self-defense training for ourselves. As Dr. Claude Anderson had stated, Brother Che, 10 years ago, and I give Dr. Claude, you know, credit for his insight of what he saw, we are going to be the targets of their hatred. Okay? Yes.
We got to close out the show because Jesse's like
No.
Okay, all right. Okay, but that there was my last comment for the night.
I want you to hear this one.
What you got going on?
This black men that were kicked off the plane, United Airlines flight.
What?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, man. That's a good one too. I'm just saying because he's over there pretending he's not falling asleep, and I'm trying to wake him up.
Family and fellow soldier.
Lady changes me, jumps to conclusions to be too busy watching me. and not watching the show.
I am watching the show. It's only right in front of me.
So what's the professor talking about?
It's a good ass episode, actually. I'm gonna cover this a little bit later on the RBA.
I just said, Shalaka, there was black men on a plane. Some white attendant complained that they had body odor, but they were from different sections of the plane, and they were all kicked off because they were black.
Yeah.
So
lawsuit.
Yeah.
I'm the professor, and this is the moment of truth. One of the things that we as black people need to focus on is disciplining our dollar. When I say that, I don't just simply mean that as black people we need to make sure that we spend more money with black people, though for a lot of us, we just need to start spending money with black people. But also, we need to be making sure that we don't use our money in order to fund, prop up, and to empower people who hate us. Yes, there are a number of industries and businesses where black people simply do not have a presence, largely because these industries are so government regulated that only a very precious few can get in to begin with. So we've been largely locked out. Now, with Memorial Day weekend behind us and the summer travel season having kicked off, I know a lot of you have got plans, and that's good. That's the reason why I chose to make airline travel the subject of this morning's briefing as a case study, hopefully a very, very relevant one for a lot of you, and why as black people, we need to make sure we don't let this stuff slide. Recently, this week, a number of black men were kicked off an American Airlines flight. We're talking about black men who didn't know each other, who hadn't boarded the plane together, who were seated in different parts of the plane. And the excuse given? A flight attendant had claimed that all of these men had body odor. Every single one of them, apparently. Not only were those 3 black men kicked off the flight because of this flight attendant's claim, but also so was every other black man on the flight. Again, all of them seated in different parts of the plane, all of them strangers. The only thing that they had in common was that they were black. None of them was non-black. But that's just one big happy coincidence, I'm sure, right? Now, if this had truly been a legitimate complaint that all of these black men, and only the black men, who were seated all throughout the plane, that apparently all of these guys apparently had BO, then why is it that after an hour, they let the men right back on the plane again? They let these guys right back on an hour later on the exact same plane. They kicked them off the plane just to let them back on again after an hour. So was this really about, oh, these guys, they're smelling or something? Or is this just another case of racist airline employees who want to remind black people we can kick you off the plane just because? Yeah, we're lying, but nothing's going to be done about it. Because the only thing that stinks is this accusation. Now, if you've ever flown on a plane, you know that black people get on there fresh as a rose, damn near wearing their Sunday best. I have had numerous occasions where I've been on a plane or a commuter train, and it's almost inevitable that a, let's say, non-urban passenger can be smelled from several rows away, either because they're drunk or they slept in the airport overnight and didn't bother to shower before getting on the airplane. A lot of them bring their pets on board with them, and I'll tell you right now, the dog stinks less than they do. People wearing wife-beater shirts, torn jeans, flip-flops, they look like a gang of pirates. Now, these airplanes are supposed to have HEPA filters on board to sanitize the air, but on at least one occasion, I can attest, those filters don't work nearly good enough. It seems like the stores out in the suburbs or those rural areas don't sell soap or deodorant, and if they do, obviously the people who live there don't think they need it. Spoiler, they do. Video of the incident has since gone viral, and the men involved have filed a lawsuit, as they should. And they've given interviews, and when you talk to them, these guys are not sitting here mumbling and fumbling their words. Yeah. These are not the kind of guys who clearly have trouble communicating. These are some clean-cut guys. These are some of the sharpest potheads that I've ever seen. And I say that because you got a lot of folks claiming, well, maybe these guys smell like weed. That's not what the flight attendant said. The flight attendant didn't claim they smelled like marijuana. The flight attendant specifically said body odor, all of them. So what this means is they were being singled out. And of course, American Airlines has issued their standard empty form letter like they always do, talking about they're investigating and committed to diversity, blah, blah, blah. But understand, they have an unbroken track record of doing this. In 2022, Odell Beckham, they threw all kinds of false accusations at him. American Airlines accused him of being unresponsive to the flight attendants on board, but the cops arrived and he was awake and alert, and even the police said, he looks fine to me. One of the flight attendants said that he had on only underwear. Now, how the hell would he have even gotten on a plane wearing just his drawers? That was clearly a lie, and when the police got there, he was wearing pants. So he's a magician too, apparently, making apparel appear out of nowhere. And you had a blonde, rather zesty-looking individual who was flopping his wrists and catching the vapors about this pro athlete being on board the plane. But notice what this white Hispanic-appearing individual says.
Where's his pants?
Oh, sorry?
Where's the baby's pants?
What do you mean?
You only got his underwear. Yeah.
Yeah, they're on.
Are they on now?
Yeah.
You hear that? She says, "Where's the baby's pants?"
Where's his pants?
Oh, sorry?
Where's the baby's pants?
This is how she's talking to the police. During an official investigation, they call the cops, they call the paramedics, and this is what she's saying. And she's talking about a passenger in first class during what she's claiming to be some sort of medical emergency or some other kind of red alert situation. And this is how she's talking about it. And the body language of these flight attendants is hostile and combative. Now, Mr. Beckham, he was not being argumentative with anybody. He wasn't being combative with anybody. He's sitting there. They got their arms folded, being condescending and insulting. So is this really just some big, huge emergency that went down, or was it just garden variety racism? Because if they're really so concerned about his health, like they claimed, then why are they talking about him like this? Does this heifer sound like a professional working for an airline, or does she sound like your garden variety 2-bit racist? The officers, of course, told her that he has his pants on. So if they were really so concerned about this black man running around the plane without his pants on, why weren't they there watching him? Wouldn't that have been common sense? This was a case of racist airline employees who wanted to show that they could kick a black passenger off the plane simply because. And this is the reason why I highlighted for you that rash of reports in the white media about passengers behaving badly on planes. Because what they were trying to do was to condition the public for this. For black passengers to be wholesale removed for no reason whatsoever, even though it's white passengers who are the vast majority of disruptive passengers and even violent passengers. This isn't about airline safety or public safety. No. It's about reinforcing anti-black discrimination in public transportation. That's what this is about. Of course, they won't be claiming that it's because you're black. They'll be claiming that it's because of something else. Now, in response to the incident with Mr. Beckham, American Airlines issued the standard empty letter talking about how they're investigating and that they're committed to diversity, etc. Sha'Carri Richardson had an argument with the flight attendant, and the argument was about the flight attendant telling her she can't take video while awaiting departure. Now, of course, there's no federal regulations against taking video on an airplane. And in fact, this has been well established. So this wasn't about her taking video. If she had been white, there would have been no problem at all. And we know there wouldn't have been because there's tons of YouTube videos of white passengers taking video while entering the airport, while they're checking in, while they're at the gate, while they're on the boarding ramp, while taking their seat, while the crew is giving safety instructions during takeoff, during landing, while they're departing the plane. Every single aspect of the flight, they take video of. It is never a problem if it's a white passenger doing it. Yeah. But a black person decides to also take a cell phone video and it becomes a flight safety problem. They have to kick you off the plane? No. After this, American Airlines issued the standard empty letter talking about they're investigating and committed to diversity, etc. But that same week, the immigrant Talib Kweli got his wake-up call when he was briefly removed from a plane after a flight attendant wanted to argue with him about luggage space. It took a second flight attendant getting involved to calm down the first flight attendant and to inform them that Talib Kweli could go ahead and put his luggage under his seat, which was what he was trying to do from the beginning, apparently. American Airlines, in response to this incident, issued the standard empty letter talking about they're investigating and committed to diversity, etc. Last year, you had another incident involving musician David Ryan Harris. This time, he was flying with his 2 children who happened to be biracial. In this incident, a flight attendant began asking Mr. Harris's children questions, but only asking them questions. Then upon landing, they had the police waiting to harass Mr. Harris. Why? The flight attendant accused him of child trafficking his own biracial children. Apparently, nobody ever bothered to look at the flight manifest to find out who these children were. Apparently, they didn't think to do that. Here's a black man sitting in first class, and he's got 2 children with him whose skin tone is a little bit lighter than his. And as far as the flight attendant is concerned, there must be child trafficking going on. Now, do we need to actually say who the majority of child trafficking perpetrators are? Here's a hint. They don't look like Mr. Harris. In response to this incident, American Airlines issued the standard empty letter talking about they're investigating and committed to diversity, etc. And then just last month, you had a retired judge who a flight attendant accused of slamming the door to the first class bathroom. That's what happened. Apparently there's going to be an argument about that. The woman made it very clear, no such thing happened, and calm down. But then the flight attendant decided to tell her, in the future, you need to use the bathroom at the back of the plane. This woman's sitting in first class. And they want to start an argument about that. This is obviously not about the bathroom. This is about the American Airlines employees understanding that they have carte blanche to be as racist as they want to be, because American Airlines truly earns the name. They are, like America, racist as hell. And of course, in response to this incident, American Airlines also issued their standard empty letter talking about their investigating and committed to diversity, etc. Now, I don't know where most of those black men on this most recent incident were seated, but if the other cases were any indication, at least one of them had to be in first class. That's what these other cases had in common, black people who were seated in first class. But nonetheless, when you see a pattern of years-long consistent behavior like this, you're not dealing with coincidences. These are not just one big, huge list of happenstances. This is the airline showing you what their official policy is. So if it's not false claims of body odor, it's going to be false claims that you're drunk, or as the zesty flight attendant said about Mr. Beckham, we don't know what's going on, but they'll kick you off the plane regardless. And if it's not that, then it's going to be that your luggage can't be put under your seat, or that you're human trafficking your own children, or that you can't take cell phone video on a plane even though you can, or that you can't use the first class bathroom even though you're seated in first class. It's always going to be something. And while American Airlines may indeed be the worst offender in this regard, they're far from the only ones. This is an industry-wide problem. It's across United, Southwest, Frontier, Spirit, you name it. And this is evidence that there is a clear, open culture of anti-black racism among these airlines, because you can't kick a passenger off the plane without the captain being in on it. It's the captain who makes the call as to whether or not the passenger is going to be ejected. Black passengers are the first ones to get bumped from flights if there's too many passengers. Right. I've seen this in videos, by the way, and it's been well documented. If there's an overbooked flight, the protocol is supposed to be to start with whomever the last passenger is on the flight and bump them first. But the way that it works in practice is, if the last passenger on a flight is white, then the white flight attendant or gate agent is going to ask them, do you want for us to bump you? Of course, the white passenger is going to say, no, I've got an important place I need to get to. The white gate agent will say, okay, that's fine. We'll leave you on the plane. And they'll move on to the next passenger, and they'll keep asking until they get to a black passenger. And when they do, they'll tell the black passenger, you're being bumped from the flight. And it doesn't matter how good your reason is. It doesn't matter how crucial your need to travel is. They'll tell you, well, somebody's got to get bumped, and it's going to be you. See, this is just one of the numerous ways that they get around racial discrimination laws. That's what's happening here. All of these excuses and such, these scumbags, just like the police, you better believe they compare notes to each other. Hey, you want to get some black people off the plane? All you got to do is just say this. Hey, you want to show those black people who's boss? Oh, I can't stand having these black people on my flights. This is what they do. Okay, this stuff is not happening just out of a vacuum. This is the culture among these flight attendants, but also among the pilots and the gate agents, because it can't work without all of them being in on it. White passengers are exempt from the rules regarding intoxication, unless you're just literally pee on yourself drunk, and even then, they'll probably still let you on the plane. Meanwhile, if you're a stone-sober black passenger on a flight, they'll make a false accusation against you, and even with no evidence of intoxication, even with the police telling them he looks fine, they'll still say they want to kick this black person off the flight. Now, since it's the flight attendants who are the ones most responsible for kicking off these racist incidents, it's only fair to ask what the hell's going on with the flight attendants union. The head of the Flight Attendants Association is a woman named Sarah Nelson. I remember her face from when I was doing interviews and Twitter posts about the violent, mostly non-black passengers on flights. And I remember that she had a Black Lives Matter sign behind her during her television interviews. That was in 2022, though. It's been a couple of years since then, and she's clearly had a change of heart, because now she's got a union sign covering up that BLM decoration she's got. This is the woman who's the head of the Flight Attendants Association. She's demanding more pay for these people and claiming that flight attendants are in danger from the passengers. But while these incidents I told you about for the last few years have been going on, Sarah Nelson hasn't said one piddling word about it. Now, what does that tell you? All this woman has is a Black Lives Matter sign behind her, and that's her basically doing her pathetic attempt at virtue signaling. Not that she actually cares about black people, but because as a union, she depends on union votes for her to be the head of the union. And she's showing, though, exactly what she really thinks. Black Lives Matters indeed. This is how you know that American Airlines, they're not the only ones who do this phony, altruistic garbage. Oh, we care about diversity. Yeah, and I bet you Sarah Nelson will tell you the exact same thing. That's how you know that you're up against an organized offense. Now, something needs to be done, but we have to stop waiting to see if these civil rights fossils are going to move, because in 2017, during the first year of the Trump presidency, the NAACP woke up from their coma and tried to get some quickie headlines for themselves by issuing a travel advisory for Black passengers saying to avoid American Airlines. Well, you can guess what happened next. The white racists who run that airline invited the NAACP over, no doubt on flights provided by American Airlines, and then the NAACP had a change of heart and decided all was forgiven. And we all know what probably happened. The NAACP was probably given complimentary flight tickets by the airline or some other goodies to get them to announce that all was well. And we see how long that clean bill of health lasted. Pete Buttigieg is supposed to be the transportation secretary, and he's telling the airlines that they have to list all of their fees, but he's not demanding that they have to list all the racial incidents that they've had. How many times have they kicked Black passengers off of flights? That should be public knowledge. Right. But a more pressing question is, what the hell has the so-called transportation secretary even done about it? Right. This is the Biden administration, mind you. The guy who we were all told had our backs and would do something about at least some of the racism that we've been subjected to. All you clowns who were talking that crap 4 years ago, you got played. No, you played yourselves. Exactly. Racism is something that only Black people are subjected to. Anyone else, they don't have any racism claim. At worst, they're momentarily inconvenienced by some personality conflict or another. Because as we saw with Odell Beckham, you can have all these non-Black people who get on code against a Black person. And they'll all lie and lock arms in order to do it. So Black folks, it matters who you spend your money with. I'm using the airlines as a specific case study, but we all know that this is a problem that we face across the board in every single arena of commerce. It matters to make sure that you keep that in mind, but we also need alternatives to this ultimately. The best way to make sure that you are not subject to anti-Black racism is to make sure that you control not just the resources, but the means of production. Whatever it is you're trying to do, whatever it is you're trying to get, wherever it is you're trying to go, you're a lot less likely to have all of the Black male passengers on the flight singled out and put off the plane, or to have the only Black woman sitting in first class told that she has to go to the back of the plane if you have apparatuses that are actually owned and operated by Black people. Black customers have to be aware. Weaponize our wallets, but also weaponize the law. Make it clear that if these airborne Aryans think that they're going to be targeting Black people, well, that won't fly.
Airborne Aryans.
And be one. I'd like to take a moment to mention some of our contributors. Delvian Burton, Faith Speaks Life, Norma Anthony, Onan X, and Stephanie Roselle. Salute to them and thank you to everyone.
So there's an update to this, and Professor's going to give us the update on the next video.
Okay.
All right. I agree with, I think it was Mac 285. He said, I hope they sue their asses. And he's glad that didn't happen on his flight because we would have had a problem.
No, oh, yeah. And also, too, I've had run-ins with ignorant motherfuckers like that there, too. And the sad part about it is, Black family, this is why we have always been advocating that Shabaka's Black experience enhanced for the last 8 years. Buy Black, build Black, trade Black. But we have to be in good faith with each other. Is because how many fucking times has a Black consumer walked off in the white man's store, the Chinese man's store, and the Chinese man say, oh, that $922. And and Black folks will break their backs, man, trying to dig up that $922. Right. But a Black merchant will tell you the same price, same quality good. Oh, homie, man, well, let me get it, man. I think for about $500. That type of bullshit. See, that's that self-destruction mentality from the mouth, as Dr. Marimba Ani has described. And also, too, Jay Militant, please pull up today's episode, man, of our special edition of Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. We had the one and only Sarge on there. And Jay Militant, it was a mess. But if you want a good laugh,
family
man,
and fellow soldiers, I'm the professor.
Pull it up. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bid you all a good night here from Sin City.
Update, Shabaka.
Huh?
You're going to miss the update.
Okay, well, what I'll do, Brother Chair, is I'll look at the repeat, man, on the playback, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm extremely tired and I'm on these meds, you know.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us.
And thank you for having me, and peace out there to you, Jay Militant. And I know up there in California, man, you guys only got like about 70 degrees, man, by that ocean, man.
We hit 90. He's in Sacramento. It hit 90 something today.
Oh, okay. He's further inland, yeah, because see, where in Sacramento, where he's at, that there is in the middle of the San Joaquin Valley, and he's in the wind tunnel, as I call it. Because what happens in this time of the year in Sacramento, all that hot air coming off the desert floor is being blown to the north. In the winter months, all that snow cold coming out the Mount Shasta region and what have you is blowing south. Okay, Jay Militant, stay cool, man. What you do, you know what to do, man. You know, with the heat up there. You know, to stay cool, keep yourself hydrated. And what I'm going to do, Black family, I'm going to lay my old ass down. I'm officially an old man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you got to live it. You got to live it. You got to live it. Get there.
And keep in mind, people, keep yourself in shape while you're young, because somebody who said that you're going to grow old gracefully, the motherfucker lied to you. Okay? I'm going to tell you that right now. The motherfucker lied to you, man. This shit ain't nothing nice, you know. So whatever it is you want to accomplish in life, do it before you are the age of 40 and enjoy your twilight years, you know. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So this is Shabaka Sankour for Frontline Black News, of which I'm the West Coast correspondent of. I bid everybody a good night from Sin City.
Everybody.
Nice night. All right. All right. Okay.
Professor, and this is the moment of truth. And now the Friday Crime Report. To follow up on yesterday's briefing, since these airlines in the U.S. and American Airlines in particular have made it a point to single out Black passengers for abuse, I think it's only fair to look at them and ask how these law-abiding flight attendants and pilots behave. Our first model airline employee is a guy named Jonathan J. Dunn. On August 22nd, 2022, he had been a Delta pilot and first officer on board a flight from Atlanta to Salt Lake City. Apparently, one of the passengers on board began to have a medical event. The captain of the plane had proposed diverting to Grand Junction, Colorado, if the passenger's condition worsened. Well, allegedly, this Jonathan Dunn character really doesn't like detours because he threatened to shoot the captain multiple times if he diverted the flight. Court documents allege that Dunn accused the captain of going crazy. Yes, that's very ironic coming from a guy who's threatening to shoot the captain of the plane for the crime of attempting to get a passenger medical attention. Maybe this Dunn character knew the distressed passenger personally and wanted to do him in. Dunn, it should be noted, is an Air Force Reserve Lieutenant Colonel, and he was demoted from his previous position for refusing the COVID-19 vaccinations. He sued the Department of Defense in February of 2022. That's just 6 months before this incident. He sued them on the grounds that he had a religious exemption. His request was denied. He appealed, and that decision was also denied. The Air Force told him that he would be relieved of command, but all of that became moot after Congress repealed the mandate that required members of the military to get vaccinated. The Air Force suspended Dunn's access to sensitive information following this incident and to the Air Operations Center. That's according to the Associated Press. But more disturbing than that is the fact that Dunn had been authorized by the Transportation Safety Administration to carry a firearm on board planes. He had been in a TSA program that allowed pilots to defend the cockpit by using firearms, and I guess he was the designated shooter. The TSA has reportedly revoked this right. He was indicted on October 18th of last year, and he was supposed to go on trial in March, but apparently his genetic immunity from law finally kicked in because that was the last that was widely reported on this incident. Word is he could be looking at up to 20 years in prison. His lawyer says that this was all a misunderstanding, that he had only been joking. Now, keep in mind, this is the same airline industry where they always have the TSA or other terrorist organizations telling people that you should be very careful about what you say and be careful of any jokes you might be making because they could be seen as terrorist threats. And so you got the guys who are flying the plane who are running around making jokes about shooting each other. Yeah, really. Unbelievable. But we know that for people like Dunn, these cases are not handled according to the law. They're handled according to whatever is most expedient for the dominant society. Now, after this, on October 22nd, 2023, just a few days after Jonathan Dunn had been indicted, there was another incident, this time on an Alaska Airlines flight. Yes, the same airline whose planes lose their doors after takeoff. In this case, an off-duty Alaska Airlines pilot named Joseph Emerson had been traveling in the cockpit jump seat behind the pilot and first officer. They had been chatting about the weather and various types of airplanes, and all seemed well until, while they were flying over Oregon, the first officer observed Emerson throw his headset across the cockpit and scream, "I am not okay." And just to prove it, Emerson attempted to disable the plane's engines by engaging the fire suppression system. The captain had to physically restrain Emerson, wrestling with this guy and eventually forcing him to leave the flight deck. Emerson reportedly told the flight attendant, "You need to cuff me right now or it's going to be bad." The flight attendant did cuff him, but Emerson still wasn't done causing mayhem yet because as the plane was making its descent to land, he reportedly tried to open one of the emergency doors. When interrogated by the FBI, Emerson said that he had taken psychedelic mushrooms and that he hadn't slept in 40 hours, that he was also dehydrated and tired. And when asked why he had tried to shut off the plane's engines, he said he thought he was dreaming and had wanted to wake up. Emerson has since been charged by the feds with interference with a flight crew, and he's also been charged at the state level with 83 counts of attempted murder, among other charges, including reckless endangerment and endangering an aircraft. But of course, genetic immunity from law being what it is, since nobody was killed, chances are excellent that this guy's going to get some sort of sentence that doesn't include prison time. Hell, even odds are that if he has lost his certification to fly, well, racial privilege being what it is, this time next year he may well be flying for some other airline. Comforting thought, I know. And since American Airlines is the company that has decided to wage a war on Black passengers, I would be remiss if we didn't mention one of their latest incidents that made international headlines. Last month, while they were telling a Black judge to go to the back of the plane to use the bathroom, there was another bathroom incident going down, this time with one of their flight attendants, Estes Carter Thompson, who was arrested for putting a camera into a bathroom on the plane and videoing underage girls. When the camera was discovered by a 9-year-old, the flight crew arranged for Boston police to meet the plane when they landed. Police tried to search Thompson's phone, but it had apparently been restored to factory settings. The family of the 9-year-old say that other American Airlines crew members allowed Thompson to destroy evidence when he was confronted about the incident. The authorities searched Thompson's iCloud account, and they found 4 additional instances between January and August of 2023 in which he had recorded a minor using the bathroom on a plane. The victims in those incidents were ages 7, 9, 11, and 14. The FBI claims that that search also found hundreds of AI-generated child pornography images. In addition, investigators allegedly found over 50 photos of an unaccompanied 9-year-old who was in her seat before a flight and close-up pictures of the child while she was sleeping. Yeah, this guy is a world-class creep, but he does work for American Airlines, so he's in perfect company. I mean that literally, because American Airlines, rather than admit to what this creep did, instead they had one of their lawyers try to blame the 9-year-old for having been videoed. I'm not making that up. This is what American Airlines' own lawyers were claiming in regards to this incident. The lawyers said that the 9-year-old girl was to blame due to her own fault and negligence. They also said that she knew or should have known that the airplane's bathroom had a visible and illuminated recording device. Wow. Apparently, they weren't very bothered by the fact that somebody put a recording device into a bathroom. So a preteen child was being videoed by some pervert, and American Airlines had their representative lawyers saying that it was the child's fault. That was their defense. They didn't say that this was a false accusation. They admit that it's true, but they say the 9-year-old's responsible for it, not their creepy employee. And why is American Airlines so desperate to protect a pedophile? Probably for the same reason they're also so eager to protect their racist staff members. And they were going to stand by this defense, blaming a 9-year-old child victimized by one of their employees. That is, until news of this reprehensible defense tactic leaked in the white media. It was only after this attempt to blame the victim came to light that the airline predictably put out one of their statements saying the included defense is not representative of our airline, which is exactly what they say about all the racist incidents that take place on their airlines. It's not representative of our airline, not representative of our values, etc. You know, if something happens over and over and over again, and you don't do anything to correct it or prevent it, and you in fact protect the people who do it, then that is representative of exactly who and what you are. If you look at the cases of assaults on airline employees, you will almost never see a Black person involved. You may see some tethers or hood rats or some hood rat tethers who are brawling at the gate or get into a cat fight on the plane. But as far as actually putting hands on airplane staff, Black folks aren't the ones who do that. Whether it be punching a flight attendant in the back of the head or trying to stab a flight attendant or knocking out a flight attendant's teeth or beating a flight attendant so badly she had to be carried off the plane and hospitalized, you don't see Black passengers doing that. And yet, who are the main ones being singled out? The people who aren't doing anything. Gee, it reminds you of the thugs in blue, don't it? The police are not attacked primarily by Black people, and yet it's usually Black people, most of the time unarmed, who the police are gunning down. So it's not about public safety. It's about racists understanding that the corporation they work for and the government that they're in league with give them carte blanche to mistreat and persecute Black passengers. They keep engaging in this behavior because they know full well that both the company they work for and the government that's supposed to be regulating them are actually on their side when it comes to all of this racist and deviant behavior. This is the airline industry that's mistreating Black people, and it allows its employees to abuse Black passengers by kicking them off the planes for no reason. Because they're so concerned about public safety, right? But apparently not concerned enough to check their own pilots or flight attendants. Flying is already a humiliating enough experience with security checks and dangerous as hell since these airlines don't do much maintenance and apparently don't even care about how their planes are built. And yet you got people who have to put up with the dregs of humanity. But when you look at how these airline employees act and how the airlines themselves will bend over backwards to shield them from consequences, I don't want to hear any more about any alleged misbehavior by Black passengers.
Right.
It's enough to make you drive to your destination.
Right.
And that's this week's Friday Crime Report. Keep your eyes open and stay on alert, because there's a lot worse criminals out there than the ones the white corporate media chooses to show you. Good day, and be one. I'd like to take a moment to mention some of our contributors: Burkett Cochrane, Bobby Johnson, Anthony Williams, Samara Morris, and Ronald Waits. Salute to them, and thank you to everyone for listening, liking, and sharing this message. Black empowerment only exists because of you.
All righty. All right, y'all. Yeah. So, fuck American Airlines. Never been a fan. I honestly don't think I ever flew American Airlines. It was always either Delta, Frontier, or Southwest. But fuck them two, apparently, because they're racist as hell as well. Thoughts, Lady Che, what are your thoughts?
It does. I mean, it's like you can't be surprised, but you're fucking surprised, right? When you hear shit like this, like, okay, you know, there's a pervert on there. Somebody put the camera in there. You can't blame no kid for that.
Right.
And the motherfuckers take pictures of the baby sleeping and shit. That's just another fucking pervert out there.
Yeah.
Like, and now they're just so, like, out there. They've been so just blatantly, intentionally doing the most and not getting in trouble for it. You know, you got active racism, active chomo shit, active everything, and nobody's getting in trouble, nobody's going to jail. It's just like almost all to the good. Everybody can just do whatever, right? And it seems like that anyway. Because he's right. That's the only shit we get to hear about once in a while. You gotta really dig deep. All these articles and stuff. Unless you have all day to fucking dedicate to looking up shit and reading newspapers and whatnot, you're gonna miss a lot of unsad news.
So make sure you subscribe to Newsbreak.
Yeah, like I'm glad we have that. Even like right now, like while I was sitting here, what I read like a couple of different things, and I'm like, yeah, man, this one article pretty much solved 6 cases that happened in my motherfucking neighborhood, literally 3-4
and while we've
blocks
been on the
in my-
air,
in the while we've been on the air,
we heard something that was not fireworks.
but besides that, they found a pistol that solved like fucking 5 motherfucking crimes that happened in my neighborhood, literally my neighborhood, over the last fucking couple of months.
Somebody potentially just got killed tonight.
I don't know about that.
Block away.
I don't know about it. I'm just saying though that I would have never known that until I read an article, and the fucking pistol wasn't even found in this area.
What's the pistol from?
Boulder.
Oh my god!
Of all fucking things. But it solved 5 motherfucking crimes that happened right here in my motherfucking neighborhood. And they even said shot spotter caught 12 on this day from this pistol, and 6 on this day from this pistol. I'm like, God damn. 6 people were found dead, and you know, like, are you serious? Are you fucking serious? But I would have never known that because it's not gonna be in the news. It's gonna be in somebody's due diligence of writing a motherfucking article, and I just happened to come across it on Newsbreak because I don't even think we have the Denver Post anymore.
You have to pay for it.
You see what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. Now the shit on the plane, it's a crapshoot. You don't even want to take your kid to the airport. I don't want. When I had a kid, I didn't even want to take my kid to the movie theater, let alone a fucking airport. And I took my kid on the airplane a couple times.
Yeah.
You know, and it just makes the crazy more aware and more ready for the get down of spotting chomos, perverts, looky-loos, nosy bastards, fucking bitch Karens. I mean, it's just one thing or another, and there's always somebody with a fucking complaint or a fucking judgment or something to fucking say, and you can't slap nobody unless you want to get kicked off the fucking plane, or you gotta go with their rules if you want to get to the next fucking state. It sounds like a lot of bullshit, and really, I feel like the more perverts are out there, the more abusive people are out there. We're just sitting there, wondering, waiting. Looking at everybody like real sus. Nothing's safe now.
Nothing is sacred, Lady Che. All right. Well, thank y'all for tapping in. Make sure y'all be safe on them airways, on planes. We're at war. Transportation is one of the many areas, and Lady Che has talked about this numerous times, about the white supremacists messing with the transportation systems, looting the planes in order to kill black people. So it is real. And like in gaslights, you would think, oh, it's on your head and you're just what they always say,
spreading
delusional and spreading disinformation, misinformation, and it's just all made up. No, it's real.
Should watch when Juneteenth happens. If the motherfucking KKK type individuals can be walking around in off-season months, what do you think is going to happen again? Come Juneteenth, when like last Juneteenth when they were out protesting this motherfucking with the festivities.
Yeah.
You know?
The fact that it was a federally recognized holiday.
Right. And regardless of how we feel about it, they're still out there, you know. And it's still striking fear. Now we've got all this other shit going on. They're definitely gonna be out there doing the most. So, you know, we just have to really watch and see. It just like, you know, protect yourselves. I don't want to get into what, you know, oh my God, it's gonna be like Civil War. I don't want to think like that, because in my mind, I'm already preparing for everything to be like The Walking Dead. You know what I mean? I get my ninja skills dirty, you know. But it's like Shabaka said, we got to take care of ourselves, because anything could really happen, and everybody wants one particular person to win an election. There's no guarantee that in that amount of time that all hell can't be broken loose. No guarantee that hell won't break loose if Biden wins.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And
either way, hell is gonna.
Either way, we got to be prepared because we're always the target, are the ones to blame for the shit. You know, they'll blame us for it.
Mm-hmm.
They'll blame. First of all, they'll start with the black man.
Yep.
He didn't show up.
100.
Yeah, he didn't show up. Or then it'll go to the black woman who she didn't show up. You know, so or they didn't put their money in certain things, or they didn't put their vote behind us, or why didn't we didn't have Black Americans vote, but we had Black Venezuelans votes. It'll be something stupid like that, you know. So just keep in mind, we're always the ones to blame. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter. At this point, we really should honestly sit back and think about what the fuck we're gonna do if whoever wins, and what's the best outcome survival wise if the whole world decides to turn the motherfucking satellite on. A real shit, just in case. Shit
what if the lights go out?
I mean, why else would they
make
all these dystopian motherfucking films, right? And I used to think like up until last year, we're gonna be taken over and be replaced with motherfucking AI robots or trannies.
Oh, okay.
You feel me?
Yeah.
That's the way the world is going. It's
seen a lot more of them lately.
Everything's fucking weird. What do you say?
Dump, as in human shit. I want to make that perfectly clear, Mac 285.
It's Deacon.
It's Mac 285 now. Mac 285, formerly known as Deacon of Reality, says the dump, as in human shit. And we want to make it perfectly clear.
I'm not recognizing that they've changed, like, just like motherfucking reinventing yourself. I can't do a lot of things. Yeah, like, let's
He drives a Mac truck down 285.
For real?
Yeah.
You're stupid. For real?
Yes.
That's
34
funny.
counts, human shit. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right. So let's ask the question.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you really think he's gonna? Do you really think that he's gonna be able to run the country?
Yeah, we need a shirt. They sure do. My ass got arrested. MAGA. My ass got arrested. And a picture of his mugshot.
No. Pointless. I mean, I've been going off all afternoon about this. Like, do y'all think he's gonna be able to run the country?
Felon Trump.
Right. You really think he's gonna be able to run? Fuck Trump
From ankle
Trump?
monitor.
From ankle, like for real, not even that. Come on, man. You know how much you got to do to get work release as a regular person?
Yeah.
So much, okay? You know how much ass kissing and trustee work you got to get till you could qualify for work release as a regular person for regular jail?
Yeah.
Not to mention fucking prison. You don't even get that. Just welcome to slavery, Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to this institutional slavery.
Yep.
Real shit.
Cause Trump gotta bend over and cough. Yeah, he gotta walk the concrete like the rest of us.
You think they're gonna let him do it? Like, they better. I mean, in my mind, I feel like they better, or else this whole shit is a fucking hypocrisy. You better let everybody out at this point. Like, that's fucked up. One felony, you're going to prison. Okay.
Right.
34, you got to walk out the courtroom.
You're getting thrown under the jail.
What?
You will never see the day.
What?
Daylight.
This is white privilege at its finest.
Yeah.
It's above and beyond the
White
Call of
rich
Duty
privilege.
with white privilege. Not to mention, dude, you should be ashamed of himself. Like, your name was good up until you.
It was not good. That's a damn lie.
Like, his whole lineage, dude.
Fred Trump was on
his
Brotha
whole
houses. His daddy was on
Who gives a
whorehouses.
fuck, right? But did he do that?
He owned whorehouses. There
My
ain't no
motherfuckers
telling
owned
what he was
whorehouses. There's no play. Remember I told you Hickey Looper was in one?
doing. Hickenlooper's a trick. That's not. We all know that.
We already knew Trump was a trick. Just having to talk about the Stormy Daniels shit. Tricking off. Tricking off. But man, he fucked himself. He fucked himself.
And he was bootlegging. I think that was bootlegging.
If they wouldn't let the Tiger King run for office, they sure as fuck can't let Trump continue on, okay?
Mac 285 said, I saw Trump at a UFC event tonight. He looked defeated.
He better. How could he smile? He was like, "It's a trap. They lied on me. They made it all." Basically, that's what he said. Made it all up. It's not real. It's fucking Biden did it. You know, like the Democrats just want to lose.
It's election interference.
Yeah, it's election interference. Woo, woo, woo. Like, come on, cuz just say you're a poor sport.
Right.
You're a poor loser in the first place. Poor sport now. Like, just say you don't take L's well.
Right.
We'll understand. We watched it the first time.
Literally.
Literally. You know what I mean? What did he say?
He said, because they mad at the judge being a Biden judge, but one of Trump's judges is helping him. In another case, birds of a feather. Yep.
Oh man, at this point, the L's are going to start coming in full force. Do you think they're the only ones?
Democrats is like, well, we're the only ones that can do this. And Republicans is like, no, we can do the same
Everybody
shit.
and their mother should be protesting this shit because it's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair at all. Not even the fucking least. It's like a free the land moment, man. Free the land, free the land. Why? Because he can't get away with it. It's not on white night say so. It's not I was the president, blah blah blah. It's you fucked up, cuz.
Yeah, exactly, Max 25. Shout out to Leticia James.
You fucked up, cuz. Straight up. I wouldn't trust you with a fucking book.
Right.
I would trust you with the telephone. You're fucked. What do you think? Are you gonna run from his house? What house?
Ain't gonna have him on house arrest at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, house arrest his ass to motherfucking jail.
Oh, he won't be able to leave the state of New York, so he has to stay in New York in the Trump Tower that's been shut down.
He's stupid. He might as well run the country from a paper box. That's where this is going, really. Right? You can't like. And what's up with all the money raising after the verdict?
Yeah,
who gave him money?
53 million. The dumpsters.
Why would you give this
the
MAGAs? Anybody with a half a
my
brain
ass,
is gonna say,
my asses got arrested.
They're gonna say if they put him in jail, you can't keep any of this money because you got to pay your debts. Give it back. You know what I mean? Like they don't let regular criminals
he
out.
He operated out of the trust. They ain't gonna take. They're gonna be able to take his trust. I don't think
so. That donational shit didn't go to no trust. Good.
He gonna put that in the coffer.
It doesn't matter. You wasted your time, mega people. Donating. What the fuck were you donating after 34 counts of guilt?
They showing they still gonna rally behind their boy.
Why in the fuck would you donate?
Even though he's a convicted criminal, convicted felon.
That's stupid, man. Who did that? That is the dumbest shit ever.
Yeah, that's what what's his face Shabaka was talking about earlier, Jay. He said in boxing news, Wilder got KO'd by a Chinese dude, and what in the final fight. Damn shame. Yeah, that's what Shabaka was saying. Shabaka was like, he needs to retire. So he had asked him what his record was, and he was like, he has 4 losses.
Well, you know, he had a good run. He's trying to do it for his kid. But I pray he saved his money.
Right.
You know, because it's terrible thing when you want to see somebody who's doing it for a good reason win, and then they don't win, and the fuckery continues.
Yeah.
You know.
Mac 25 said Wilder. It's been done.
Yeah, it's terrible, but I pray that he got his money for his child. You know what I mean?
Yeah. His daughter had like sickle cell anemia or something.
Something. You know what I mean? Either way, I pray that he was successful in that round.
Yeah.
You know, you can't win them all. You know. So. And that's not without being funny. I'm not even being funny about this. I mean, it's serious. So I pray that you at least got what he needed for his child. You know, because wouldn't he be a single father and all that shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So there was 2 topics we didn't get to, and that was the Cook County attorney says no prosecution for traffic stops where drugs are routine. Cook County attorney says no prosecutions for drugs being found during routine traffic stops.
See why? Because they get tired of hearing Well, because they don't want to shoot nobody right now. They're scared.
And brother says he would rather go to jail,
right,
than apologize to the piggy, otherwise known as the cop, that disrespected him.
Mm-hmm.
So those
standing on that, huh?
those two topics and several other topics will be discussed tomorrow on part 2. So thank y'all for tuning in to season 4, episode 9, part 1 of the Frontline Black News. Thank you to our West Coast correspondent Shabaka Sankori for joining us, staying up late with us. Also, thank you for Lady Che and all the wonderful things she does to keep the platform afloat. All of that, and her contribution tonight, commentary tonight.
She's having to be in the room.
Yeah. And
I feel it better, y'all.
And we appreciate all of y'all for tuning in. Of course, Jay Militant. Make sure y'all sell up to What's Cracking TV with Jay Militant. Twin, you know, you're our hype man, so you're always welcome. Mac 285, you're our other hype man, and you're always welcome. And who else tapped in? I think that was it.
That was it.
Sorry.
Yep, and then the RVH kind of felt like doing it or later, but tonight, just I don't know. So we have a busy day tomorrow.
Jay said facts. He looks like he didn't want to fight, but he also got screwed in those 2 Fury fights. Yeah, they kept giving him the slow count. That was some bullshit. But Fury, I'm glad Fury lost too, though. I'm glad Fury lost. Tyson Fury's a bum, as Shabaka was saying.
Great bum.
It was like they beat him down, mentally. Yeah.
It figures. That'll do it. That'll throw you off your boxing game for real.
Mac 285 said, "Good night, family."
Night, fam.
And you stay safe on them highways and byways.
Yeah.
And Twin said, "Peace as well."
Yep. Stay tuned. You're looking out for the notification for the RVA. I got a couple of funny topics still lined up. Jesse had me laughing earlier, so I definitely was like, these are RVA topics for real.
Oh, yeah.
So,
especially the one with the teacher.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that was hilarious. So stay tuned.
Yeah, so in the meantime, make sure y'all like and subscribe to all our platforms. Frontline Black News on YouTube and Facebook. The Revolutionary Agenda on YouTube and Facebook. And Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced on Facebook and Twitter, now X.com. And we should have a brand new episode on Tuesday, so stay tuned for that. Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. We did a special edition earlier, so make sure y'all listen to the playback of that. And this is going to conclude season 4, episode 9, part 1 of the Frontline Black News. We'll be back tomorrow with part 2. So we'll see y'all then. So peace, love, light, reparations, and separations, and Black empowerment from the mile-high income and illegal migrant-flooded city and in a sundown town known as Aurora, Colorado.
Yep.
Peace, y'all.
Peace, y'all. They're black and dangerous.
Keep y'all heads on the swivel. And don't ever let these crackers knock you off your square. Shout out to Jay Miller.
Yeah.